The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Jets, Cowboys coming up on Sunday at MetLife. The Jets have made several personnel moves. How do they actually win on Sunday? We'll talk with Jets insider Nick Faria in his weekly spot. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's go, Yanks. Let's hit it and get it started.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines of every game and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go on a football Friday, and the only thing that is saving me from a true sports depression with the New York Jets is the New York Yankees, and specifically Cam Schlittler. So I apologize for my voice being terrible. I was at the game last night, and that was one of the best sporting environments I have ever been in. So shout out to the Yankees for sending the Red Sox home, baby. Just like the Knicks eliminated the Celtics, we waited a long time to stick it to Boston. And the two teams that I root for that actually can do it, did it. So thank God. With that said, let's say hello to our good friend, Jets reporter for JetX, jetsxfactor.com, Nick Faria, who joins us now. Hello, Nick.
I love the voice cracking a little bit here and there, the excitement off it. One of the teams you root for, man, they're coming through for you. It's great to see.
And also, I don't know if you saw this, but so the Jets play at 1, of course. Yankees, Blue Jays, game 2 starts at 4. So I'm going to have to somehow navigate a post-game show, probably after the latest Jet debacle on Sunday, while having a heart attack watching the Yankees at the same time. So if anyone wants to see someone have a live heart attack on the air, I recommend you check out my Jets Cowboys post-game show immediately after the Jets game.
Well, I will add to that sort of the make sure you take in hypoglycerin pills. Damn, I butchered that. Whatever the hell that Rothstein uses on CBS Sports or whatever. But make sure you have plenty of heart pills ready to go. Have some soda, have some water ready. Keep yourself hydrated. Everything's going to be okay. There's a possibility that we could be seeing a 2-0 Jake Asman on Monday. That would be a sight to behold.
From your lips to God's ears. From your lips to God's ears. All right. We'll talk about this Jets-Cowboys game. We'll do some over-unders with Nick as well. Programming note, though, I am filling in for Stephen A. Smith today on the radio. I'm doing the 6 to 8 time slot, so you'll hear me on Mad Dog Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 82. So that's why there will not be a second show at 4 p.m. today. However, I intend to do a Saturday show tomorrow morning with Jeff Parles at 11:15 a.m. So you're still getting the same amount of shows this week. You'll just get a Saturday show and then post-game, of course, as I just mentioned, on Sunday. But I'm in for Stephen A. today, so listen on Mad Dog Sports Radio from 6 to 8 on Sirius XM Channel 82. Nick, let's talk about some moves the Jets have made the last couple of days. Clearly, they are trying to figure out the kick returner and punt returner spot. Let's start with that. Break down the latest.
Yeah, so Avery Williams is sort of the latest person to be signed. And he's one with extensive kick return experience. We talked about, of course, Khalil Herbert, his signing yesterday. They touched on it. They want to get some competition in the return room again after the debacle that Isaiah Williams had on Monday night, both as a kick and punt returner. But Avery Williams is probably the big question mark, I would say, going into Sunday, because his whole role, unlike Khalil Herbert, his whole role in the NFL has been as a returner. He was with Philadelphia for a little bit during the training camp and preseason as a particular returner. Philadelphia kind of shunted him to the side, threw him away, and said, okay, we'll just deal with whatever we have. So Williams is still a quality returner. He's been very consistent throughout his career. Herbert has some return experience, but not after his rookie season. So It really just comes down to whatever the team feels more comfortable with over the next couple of days. Very clearly, though, they are not happy with Isaiah Williams. Chris Banjo, who spoke to him yesterday, he would not commit to Williams being the returner, both on kicks or punts going into Sunday. I think the writing's on the wall where either Herbert or Williams will be the guy going into that game against Dallas.
Are you surprised they didn't just straight up cut Williams after how bad that was on Monday?
A little bit, because that's kind of the MO that they had. Xavier Gibson was released after that bad mistake, those 2 bad fumbles against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Aaron Glenn said, listen, it wasn't just one thing. It was a cascade of things that led to this release. And that all makes sense, but it's not like Isaiah Williams, had one bad play and then made up for it later. He had a bad fumble to start the second half kickoff and then immediately responded with arguably, to me, one of the most surprising moves ever I've seen in a National Football League game, where he downed a punt at the 2-yard line. I've never seen that before in my life as a reporter, never saw it as a fan. The rule is always, if you want to down it, you down it probably around the 10 because you don't know where that bounce is going to go. But anything past the 5-yard line, and you just let it bounce. He caught it. It was a fair catch. To this day, I still don't know what in God's name he was thinking. He took ownership for it. He took responsibility for his mistake after the game. But by and large, this is now multiple games this season where a returner has really hurt the offense and really hurt the defense in response to that.
It really is amazing that he was even allowed to go back out there after the fumble on the kickoff. That to me is egregious. Like, I don't understand how he was even in that spot in the first place. And that's a guy that Aaron Glenn vouched for. So it's just incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, and listen, there are some things that I've liked from this coaching staff. There are some things I think most fans would be frustrated about from this coaching staff. The inconsistency on mistakes and how they keep happening in some ways. Pre-snap penalties, playing beyond the whistle. Again, some things you can't control. There were some really bad calls on Monday night that I think were just absolutely egregious. There were some bad calls against Tampa Bay that I thought were egregious. But by and large, you have to keep playing. And once again, we're talking about the same problems for the Jets over the last few seasons. Turnovers that completely butcher really strong offensive series, and then penalties that completely destroy any hope of momentum on a particular drive. So there are some things that I've liked. I really like what I've seen from Tanner Engstrand. I do like some of the adjustments that have been made. Special teams, as bad as the return game has been, you've got a great punter, you got a great kicker. Both things are really, really good to have when you're trying to build a team into contention. But this is very clearly a team that is trying to learn how to win, and they are making the consistent mistakes that all those kinds of teams do. And again, it's unfortunate, but it will take time. And part of that is keeping players accountable. Now, we can argue, oh, they should have already cut him, they should have already done that. That doesn't mean they're not going to. This very well could be a situation where he is released today, he could be released tomorrow, and that is accountability hitting home before the next game. It's just a matter of what this team is going to do if they trust anyone to take over that role going into Sunday.
Let's get into the latest injury report. We'll get one more later today, but I think we have a pretty clear idea on where some of these guys who are maybe questionable or up in the air, where things are headed. This is yesterday's report. As everyone can see on the screen, another DNP for Tremaine Johnson. Aaron Glenn saying earlier in the week, Nick, that he was day-to-day, but the fact that he's yet to practice, I'd be surprised if he suits up on Sunday.
Yeah, we saw him and actually Kenny Nagwanu walking during practice without any pads on, without any major things. And it was clearly that they were in the rehab area. It's a safe bet that neither player is going to play at this point. There are some positives. Jarvis Brownlee looks like he's going to get the start in the slot in place of Michael Carter, who's dealing with concussion. And I still believe that Mason Taylor should be good to go for Sunday. He has been out there. He may not have participated in every particular drill, but I still think it's a safe bet that he will be playing on Sunday unless something changes today.
Your thoughts on what we could expect from Jarvis Brownlee Jr.? Michael Carter, of course, concussion. He's not going to be out there, as you brought up, and most people are aware by now. So what can we expect from Brownlee in his debut?
It's difficult to determine because Tennessee fans have loved what he put on tape over the last year. And there is a lot to like. His physicality, his willingness to tackle, all of those things are issues that the Jets have desperately needed to solve, not just this year, but over the last couple of years. But I do think it will take some time. This is just his second week with the team, second week with this defense. So I'm sure there's going to be some communication issues. There's going to be some communication breakdowns. But his effort has always been high. His physicality has always been strong. And I think if you are seeing that effort, that competitiveness, if he makes a mistake on one play but comes back with a pass deflection on the next, that should at least endear him to Jet fans going into this game against Dallas, where, listen, this is not an easy matchup. We don't know if CeeDee Lamb is going to play or not. I don't believe they said that he was already out of a walking boot. Maybe there's a possibility that he comes back a lot sooner than anticipated. No one really knows what's going on there, but he's a slot receiver, and he's arguably the best slot receiver in all of football. So if it's Jarvis Brownlee against CeeDee Lamb, that's going to be a really tough matchup for the young kid. If it's anyone else, maybe that's a closer battle, but this Cowboy offense has looked really, really good to start the season. So I think we should temper expectations based on that alone.
The Cowboys offense and their defense, they're going to be potentially out a bunch of key guys too, though. So they're banged up. A lot of people have wondered, myself included, hey, why on FanDuel Sportsbook is the line as of this morning still just 2.5? And I think this line factors in a lot of the uncertainty with the Cowboys injuries.
Yeah, 100%. But also, the reason why they're still favorites is because they have Dak Prescott. Dak is playing great football right now. Even with all the injuries to the offensive line, which happened during the Packer game, they were destroying one of the best defenses in football. I mean, we have to give credit where it's due. And I hate the Cowboys. Everyone knows that my hatred for the Cowboys goes very, very long and very, very far. But it's like that kind of reality, that kind of understanding where the Cowboys may have a lot of guys banged up, but they still have George Pickens and they still have Dak Prescott. And that should be enough to put up some points against a defense that has not played well for the most part. So it's a big question mark to have what's going to happen on Sunday. But if the Jets defense plays like they did against Miami, Dak Prescott should have a field day.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Nick Faria is with us in his weekly spot. Only show on the day if you tuned in late, because I'm filling in for Stephen A. Smith on radio. So I will be live from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time on Mad Dog Sports Radio, channel 82. We will give you a Saturday show with Jeff Parles tomorrow morning and a post-game show right after Jets Cowboys on this channel on Sunday. Nick, I want to talk about the game plan for the Jets specifically in this one and what they need to do if they're going to get their first win. But first, since I am only doing one show and it is still a Football Friday, we have a monster giveaway at the end of the show. A signed helmet by Jets legend Wayne Corbett is up for grabs. So gift memberships to qualify or send in a $10 super chat or higher to be entered. If you don't win, well, good news. You still can win a prize on Tuesday as all your memberships qualify for our signed Joe Namath helmet raffle, Wayne Corbett signed football, and a Sauce Gardner signed jersey. So gift away for your chance to enter, or $10 super chat or higher qualifies you as well. Black Gypsy, Stack, JT, they all gifted three total memberships there. Thank you to each of those guys. And then Eli Betts is the first to come through. He gifted 5. That's right, 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Hopefully that changes on Sunday. Thank you, Eli, for supporting the show. O'Shea with a super chat. You could release Williams without knowing his replacement. Nick, your thoughts on that?
I don't think that's very smart. You need to be able to have an understanding of a replacement before you make that kind of move. And you have to remember, they cut Xavier Gibson and signed Isaiah Williams on the same day. So I think you want to have that competition. You want to go through each particular option that you could use for a particular game, and then you make that roster decision. If Khalil Herbert plays well, he should at least get the opportunity to play in the starting offense because they don't have Braylon Allen. But Avery Williams, if he stands out in a positive way, maybe that's your return. We just don't know at this point because it will take some time to be able to determine where they want to go at the return game.
Greg P checks in with a super chat here. He's in the raffle for 2. Cowboys, 21st in run defense. Hopefully Jets control the time of possession and keep the Cowboys offense off the field. We need the defense to get some stops. I worry this game gets out of hand early, though. Look, I'll say what I've said now for the last several weeks. You got to force turnovers when you're playing a high-powered offense. You got to give your offense, if you're the Jets, extra possessions. And the Jets are not just bad at doing that. They are historically bad. They're one of 4 teams in the last 90 years to be winless and not have a defensive takeaway.
The first time, I believe, since 2018 where the Jets have not had a turnover in the first 4 games. I think the record was set that year in 2018 with 6 games. I think it was Rich Cimini that was saying it as we were going to practice yesterday. But the one thing that I'll say in regards to this is very simple. The Jets are not talented enough to be able to just go out there on the field and bully teams into submission. You have to make some plays on the defensive end, not just get third down stops, actually force turnovers. Put yourself in an advantageous situation where the offense is working on a short field or they're working with a sudden change. The more you turn the ball over, the more penalties you commit, the worse you are going to be. They are just not talented enough to be able to make up for those kinds of mistakes. I have these conversations a lot with people on the beat. People will say, well, look at some of the teams around the NFL, and you look in some of the teams that are more penalized than anyone else are some of the main contenders: Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, Philadelphia over the last few years. But they have the talent to be able to make up for those kinds of mistakes. If they force a turnover, if they turn the ball over, they're able to play up and be able to overcome those mistakes. The Jets aren't talented enough to do that. And that's where these turnovers really need to come to fruition. They need to run the ball efficiently. They need to take care of the football and actually force some mistakes from the opposition, because it has just been way too easy through the first 4 weeks of the season for every quarterback that they have played.
What do you make of Aaron Glenn's comments this week talking about his experiences with the Lions? He's saying that there's going to be a breakthrough coming. He's not responsible for the last 14 seasons prior to this one. But Nick, let's be honest. Even if you had low expectations for the Jets, 0-4, I don't know how many people thought they'd be 0-4. And even if you didn't think it was going to be great or they would be 0-4, I don't know how many people would look at these games and feel like they should be 0-4 if Glenn held up what he was preaching all summer on being a smart, disciplined, fundamentally sound team. And they've been everything but that.
If you look at it from the perspective of Aaron Glenn, where he's saying, listen, in Detroit, we were 0-8, and we were an uncompetitive 0-8 to start that season. Let's be fair. That's exactly what the Detroit Lions were in that first year under Dan Campbell. It was ugly for Detroit, and then they got incrementally better as the season went on. They went 3-3 in their final 6 games, and they used that to sort of catapult themselves into contention the following year. They went 9-8, their first winning season in however long it was. The year after, they were in the conference championship game. I'm not predicting that that's what's going to happen with the New York Jets. All I'm saying is Aaron Glenn did not really go in and say, we're making the playoffs first year I'm here. That's never really what he said. But he did say he wanted to be more buttoned up. He wanted to be disciplined. He wanted his team to play competitively and be proud, have the fan base be proud of them. For the most part, they've been in 3 or 4 games, 1-score losses in 3 or 4 games. That can be a feather in his cap. But the same mistakes that this team has made now for over a decade, poor quarterback play in key moments, bad turnovers in key moments, mindless penalties, all of these have just sort of glossed over into the Aaron Glenn term. And I'm not going to say that he can't do it or this team won't be able to recover from that in the future or down the road the rest of the season. But by and large, if you expected the Jets to struggle at the beginning of the year because they played 3 playoff teams in the first 4 games, that's all well and good. But you want to see the incremental improvements in those key areas, and you just haven't yet. And that's where that frustration boils over. I do think that Aaron Glenn should be given grace. He should be given more than just a month before we throw in the towel and say, this guy can't coach. Because we have seen great coaches shrug off bad first seasons and do really, really well throughout their careers. This isn't a Rex Ryan situation where they were coming in with a playoff contending, Super Bowl contending team right away. But there needs to be an understanding that balance of it's not as bad as it is because this is still a young team, a young coaching staff. They're learning to grow with each other. And 1 year does not make or break an entire career. But also understand that, well, these are the same problems we've had. And we need to find a way to fix them because this coaching staff has preached that this is different. This is different. And so far it hasn't been.
The biggest thing is we can't move the goalpost with what we thought the team was supposed to be. The expectations were low, but we were promised a team that wouldn't beat themselves, wouldn't be one of the most penalized teams in the league. Again, 13 penalties against a trash Miami team on Monday night is just, quite frankly, unacceptable. This defense, while maybe not as talented as they've been in the past couple of years, some of the guys that they chose to bring back and they felt they could coach up, it hasn't worked. Michael Clemens, Tony Adams, these were their
decisions. Game last Monday. Michael Clemens did have a good game. Let's be fair.
He's also been Michael Clemens for the other 3
I'm not debating that whatsoever.
I mean, look, there's got to be some improvement. I don't want to hear from Aaron Glenn, big ships take a while to turn, and we're not the same old Jets, and then you're 0-4. I mean, he's staring at being the first Jet coach to start their Jet head coaching career at 0-5. And I'm not picking them Sunday. We'll get your pick coming up, but it shouldn't be this bad. I'm sorry. Even if the expectations were low, they shouldn't be, staring at 0-5 and then potentially 0-6 after they play Denver and London the week after.
There are positives to look at, and I do want to push that because I think the offense has looked better than it has in recent memory. I love what I've seen from the offensive line. The running game has looked really good. Garrett Wilson's played very, very well. Quinn Williams is having a big-time year. The rest of the defensive line is not. But, yeah, I think the expectations are what they are. I think most people thought maybe you could get to 9 wins. Maybe you could get to, above 500, but you're in these games, you're competitive in these games, and you're moving forward. For the most part, the game against Miami, they made mistakes in that first half that had them down 7 points going in. It was really, really bad for the majority of that game. It was the same thing for Tampa Bay, and obviously Buffalo was a disaster. But I will say, these things tend to change pretty quick from season to season, from month to month. The first month of the season is always kind of a crapshoot. You never really know what's going to happen. But there are a lot of teams in the NFL, especially in the modern NFL, that have started out a season very, very poorly and then have picked it up down the stretch, and they actually play really good football to the point where you start building off of something. Detroit, obviously, we talked about, started 0-8, finished, 3-14-1, but they actually won 3 of their last 6 games. That's the kind of improvement you look for. In 2021, same year, Philadelphia started 2-5. They thought Nick Sirianni was going to get fired. Well, then they win 6 of their final 8 games and they make the playoffs. I'm not saying playoffs are a possibility here, but you saw those turnarounds. You see that incremental improvement.
When do we see it, though? When does this improvement you speak of happen?
I don't know. And it's going to come down to actually making sure you do not get penalized for some of the mundane things you're supposed to do, like a receiver staying in possession, staying in his role before the ball gets snapped. It really just comes down to it. It's some of these mind-numbing penalties that you have in those instances. And until they fix it, most fans like you, Jake, do not have a reason to be positive. You don't have that possibility because they haven't shown anything. So I totally get that. But NFL history is NFL history, and I will say, as bad as it's been to start, it could absolutely turn around in a dime.
I also could say this. If you look at a very important category, you could argue the Jets, Nick, are 2-2 in the moral victory department. Thank God for the Yankees. Otherwise, I would be so clinically depressed right now. You have no idea. Peter Castro says, Jake, at least we have the Yankees. Jets defense sucks. Amen, Mr. Castro. Give your guy Boone credit. All right. I was very nervous. He was not going to let Cam start the 8th inning, and he was going to pull the old analytics horse crap. And Cam Schlittler said, not so fast. I'm going to pound the zone, not walk a batter, strike out 12, and pitch 8 scoreless in my first ever playoff start against our biggest rival. So let's go.
In fairness as well, I just looked it up because I wanted to make sure this is correct. You're playing the Cowboys week 5 after an 0-4 start. This is very similar to the 2019 team because the Cowboys were seen as this juggernaut. It was just a dominant group. Dak Prescott was playing great to start the year. They walk into MetLife Stadium, and Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson absolutely torched them. Not saying it's going to happen, but this has happened before in almost the exact same way.
Yeah. Look, you don't want Glenn to be Adam Gase, but for this 1 week, you want him to go full Adam Gase.
And Jet fans are clueless. I mean, they're dopes. They don't know anything. This is a really good hire. Gase is a great coach. Okay, Adam Gase is Kyle Shanahan before Kyle Shanahan. Gase is a great coach.
By the way, you want to talk about coaching? Look at what Shanahan's doing with the Niners right now with his backup quarterback.
Great.
And out Nick Bosa, Salah's defense, forcing 2 turnovers last night. Good coaching, man. You Aaron Rodgers, he stinks, he's terrible. Goes to a team with competent coaching. he's competently playing the quarterback position, 3-1. And you know Pittsburgh's going to finish with a winning record, probably going to win the AFC North. The Jets have been a poorly coached operation 4 games in. And I'm not saying fire Glenn. That's ridiculous. But it has to be better. We got to see more. It has been flat out unacceptable what we have seen so far.
And, you know, I'll stipulate that, Jake. As long as the discussion is not fire the coaching staff, I am totally fine with saying this is completely unacceptable. It's when that last point where I see fans going, we need a brand new coaching staff. This needs to be one and done. No, that can't be the thought process, because you're never going to hire a good head coach again. You do not fire a coaching staff 1 year into their program unless it is just demonstrably bad, and we are nowhere near that at this point. So as long as we understand that Glenn should be given time to see this through, I'm fine with that. This is completely unacceptable. The penalties, the turnovers, I can't disagree with any of that. The lack of turnovers forced, totally get all of that.
If they're going to win Sunday, Nick, what's the game plan? What's the path to actually upsetting the Cowboys?
Well, number one, it's figuring out a way to pressure Dak Prescott into mistakes. As good as he has played so far at this early stage of the regular season, this is kind of what he does. He plays really, really well for a good stretch, and then he has a game where he just absolutely, completely collapses into himself, where he gets pressured consistently, he forces mistakes, and he turns the ball over 2-3 times in a particular game. So I think, number one, you need to get pressure. This offensive line is banged up. This should be a big day from Will McDonald. Should be a big day for Quinnen Williams, particularly if Tyler Booker is not going to play and Tyler Smith isn't going to play. Quinnen Williams should have a big day. Jawan Briggs should have a big day. I think Michael Clemens, if we are going to see anything from this guy, he has got to build off of the good performance, objectively good performance, that he had last week against the Miami Dolphins. We need to see that consistency. Pressure on the front four is always big. And then I believe a commenter already said it, completely agree with it. Control the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys' run defense is not as bad as it was last season, but it's still pretty bad. And this is a game where I think Tanner Engstrand can really, really sort of tighten the screws against this Cowboy front seven, which is good but not great, particularly after the Micah Parsons trade. I don't think Justin Fields should be relied on to push the ball downfield. If you do that, the Cowboys are going to come away with a couple of interceptions. They still have good corners, but they do not have good safety play. They do not have good defensive line play, and that means Mason Taylor and this running game should have big-time performances.
Mickey with a super chat. The thing that scares me the most about the Jets is I think Fields is a bad quarterback, and he's been playing decent, and we're still losing. Fields has played well enough for this team to be 2-1 in his starts.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the other piece to it, you kind of look at it from the perspective of if you watch the tape on the Jets offense, they are very, very constrained. It is essentially, if we're not running the football effectively, we cannot do what we need to do in the passing game. They start out not really throwing the football against Miami, but they were averaging 7-8 yards a carry. And so when you have that, you don't really need to worry about throwing the football. If you're running the ball for 7 yards, you keep doing it until they stop it. I think this is another matchup where they should be able to do that and allow Justin Fields to play his game. He has nowhere been as bad as he once was with the Chicago Bears, but I'm sure as the season progresses, they are going to want to see more and more from him in the pocket, making plays, making throws, making reads that you expect a starting quarterback to do at this point.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We're talking with Jets reporter Nick Faria on his weekly spot. Read his work over at jetsxfactor.com. So you mentioned Tanner Engstrand. You had this tweet. You wrote that Tanner Engstrand reminds you of some of the stronger play callers in the game, able to adjust scheme to personnel, a little quirky, but just a clear and obvious football mind. He's easily been a bright spot on the Jets coaching staff so far. I agree. I think it's been a positive overall so far for Engstrand. Some of it, I think, is because of how bad the defense has been, Wilkes being horrendous, in my opinion. The one thing I do want to ask you about, though, is a comment here from Dylan, who brought this up and did the research. Why hasn't Engstrand called any true dropbacks for his quarterback under center? 0 out of 42 snaps this season.
So I appreciate the question, but I'll ask the question in return. Do you know who your quarterback is? As good as Justin Fields has played, he is playing within the confines of the Jets offense. If they asked him to do what Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes do as pure drop back passers, he's not going to look as good. It's just not who he is as a quarterback. The mark of a good offensive coordinator is to take the kind of signal caller you have and build the offensive philosophy around his skill set. That is exactly what you are seeing from Tanner Engstrand at this point. I think he has been an absolute bright spot and easily the best coach at this point for the Jets under Aaron Glenn. They're running the ball effectively. He understands that, hey, our quarterback is deficient. We need to roll the football. We need to run the football and roll our quarterback out. All those things need to be included. I think he's been great. He kind of reminds me, so like some of these offensive minds, they're a little quirky. You look at Liam Cohen, his whole Duval chant in his opening press conference was as cringy as you could possibly have. But he's clearly got a good football mind. Jacksonville's 3-1, and he's looked really, really solid overall from a coaching perspective. These kinds of offensive minds, they're a little quirky in the way they talk. You get them talking about life and anything like that, kind of comes off a little weird. But overall, he looks like a great offensive mind, understanding scheme and understanding the players. Building that scheme around those players is something very few coaches do, but the great ones do and do to great effect.
Dylan says the issue I have with it is it's so predictable and defenses pinch down knowing it's coming.
Right, but Dylan, that's kind of that is unfortunately what you have with Justin Fields. If you wanted a quarterback that can just drop back and throw, then you should have kept Aaron Rodgers. That's essentially what it comes down to. They wanted a modern look to the offense. They wanted to build an offensive scheme around the quarterback. If you're going to do that and you're bringing in Justin Fields, then you want to tailor make your offense into exactly what Justin Fields does well. You do not throw Justin Fields out there and say, go be like Aaron Rodgers. Go be like Patrick Mahomes. You allow him to do what he does well within the confines of their offense.
Comments, questions, your super chats. They cut the line talking with Nick Faria. If you want a signed Wayne Corbett helmet, that's our giveaway today. And this is the only show on the day today. So enter for your chance to win by gifting a channel membership. Reminder, join the Patreon. If you haven't, you get bonus shows, access to the Discord. I will give people till the end of the weekend to sign up for the Patreon if you want your name added to our countdown ticker that plays before every show. Huge shout out to Christopher Wilson, Spencer Green, and Burkinator for signing up most recently for the Patreon. All right, Nick, let's get to some Jets Cowboys over-unders. But first, you want to know how you've done so far in this segment that we do every week when you're on the show?
I'm sure it's terrible.
Do you think you have a winning record?
No, I think I'm at least I'm probably like 2 games under.
Well, Nick, I'm here to tell you right now that as I open up the document here that our esteemed resident statistician, Asmaniac, historian, and researcher puts together, so far on the season, you do have a winning record. 18-14. We didn't do it for week 1. You went 4-10 in the Bills game. We didn't do a show together in week 3 because I was traveling to Tampa. Last week, or AKA Monday night, you went 14-4 with your picks. So
there we go.
Bounce back in a major way. 18-14 is your season record on Jets over-under predictions.
Hey, listen, I'll take that. I'll take a winning record every single day of the week.
So if people are betting with you, 18-14, they'd be winning some money right now. Here we go. These are all courtesy of our presenting sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook. If you want to bet on any of these, just go to FanDuel. They are the go-to for all Jake Asman Show odds, bets, anything we're talking about from a gambling perspective. Let's start with some passing props for this game on Sunday, and I'm going to put them all up on the screen here. We'll start with player passing yards. Justin Fields, over under 187.5 passing yards.
I'm going to go under in this one specifically because I think the Jets understand they need to run the football effectively in this game. And I do think that the corners are going to sort of scare off New York throwing to the boundary.
Dak Prescott,
hit the over
under.
on that one.
Yeah.
Hit the over on the 239. Even if the Jets are in this game, Dak is absolutely going for at least 250.
It's hard to argue with that. I mean, the Jets have given you no reason to think that they're going to be able to stop anyone. Now, it's not listed on the screen here, but there's another bet with Dak that I really like. His pass completions is set at 22.5.
Oh,
I'd go over on that. And pass attempts is 34.5. Probably would lean over on that as well.
I completely agree. This, even if the Jets are controlling the line of scrimmage and they've got themselves a little bit of a lead, Prescott, that's only going to allow Prescott to throw the ball more. That's exactly what Dallas wants.
Player passing touchdowns. Justin Fields, over under 1.5.
Under. I think that's a safe bet. They're going to run the football a lot, and if they get into the red zone, they're not going to be throwing the football at all.
I mean, Fields should have had 2 passing touchdowns on Monday, though. They took
Really
one away
should.
from
I mean,
him.
that was an egregious OPI. The refs were awful in that game. Absolutely awful.
How about Dak Prescott, over under 1.5?
I'll take the over on that. I think he'll get to two to three touchdowns.
I would go over on that as well. Let's do some rushing props now, then we'll get to the receiving props. Here we go. Player rushing yards. We will start with Breece Hall, over under 67.5 rushing yards for Breece.
I'll take the over. But I do think it's going to be a very hard-earned 70 to 80 yards rushing.
Javonte Williams, over under 68.5.
I'll take the over. Right? Listen, Dallas really likes what they've seen out of him. I think he's going to be their bell cow moving forward the rest of the way.
Justin Fields, over under 51.5.
I'm going to take the under. I truly believe Dallas is going to come in understanding what the Jets want to do. They're going to keep him in the pocket. Fields has struggled in the past against the Cowboys. I'll take the under.
Dak Prescott, this number is so low. All it takes is this one scramble, and he hits it over under 4.5.
Yeah, but it's difficult because he's not the scrambler that he was once in the past. I'll take the over, but I'm doing it very, very lightly, very concerningly.
Rushing attempts. This one's interesting because we know what the Jets want to be. Breece Hall, over under 16.5.
I'll take the under. I'll take the under on that.
I'd go over. I think this is a big Breece game.
You know what? I'll switch it up. I'll take the over on that as well. I keep going back and forth of what we're going to see out of Isaiah Davis. They really like what they saw out of him, but I still think he gets to at least 20.
Javonte Williams, over under 16.5 attempts.
Over. I think he's going to be their bell cow moving forward.
Justin Fields, over under 8.5.
What do you have last week? What was it, 8?
Justin Fields last week had 7.
I'll take the under on that as well. I think they're gonna want to force him in the pocket where he's not making any major rushing attempts.
We interrupt this segment to shout out one of the greats. Janice Jet just dropped a 10 spot for the community. 10 people just received a channel membership. Hit it, Beningo.
We are mama way.
Shout out to Janice, who I got to meet in Tampa. 10 people just got a channel membership. Janice just bought 10 raffle tickets to win a signed Corbett helmet at the end of the show. Carl Johnson beats Custom Kicks. Cisco Lopez, Matt Burns, Cam Schlittler is my favorite human being to ever live. Honeydukes, Sean Evans, Dave from New Brunswick, F the Boston Red Sox, Low Temp Fade TV, Gary the Snail, Darnell Barker, Suck It Dave Portnoy, all receiving a channel membership there from the great Janice Jet, who's in the raffle for 10. Let's see. Shout out to Mr. Magoo, by the way, who gifted or sent in a $20 super chat. He earns himself 5 raffle tickets. Kevin wants to know, should he start Fields or Dak in fantasy?
I think to start Dak. I look, as much as I think the Jets going to be able to run the football against this Cowboy team, have we seen anything from this Jets secondary that shows they can stop any quarterback with competency? I haven't seen it yet.
I am starting Fields on my team over Kyler Murray. If you have Dak, he's probably the safer bet to start, though.
Yeah, it's just safe.
Quick super chat here. Peter Castro says, Nick Justin's not a pocket passer. Roll him out and let him run more.
I completely agree. Utilize the strength of your quarterback, and I do think that Tanner Engstrand has done that very, very well. He's put him in situations where he's not getting headhunted. He's allowing Justin to play within the confines of this offense. I think Justin's played well, and I think Engstrand's done a good job to maximize his potential.
Back to the over-unders now. Did we do all the rushing props? We did.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to some receiving props now. Once again, these odds are all courtesy of FanDuel. Let's do receiving yards for this next one, Nick. Let's go through it here. Player receiving yards. We start with Pickens. He's their number one with CeeDee Lamb still sidelined. Pickens over under set at 72.5.
Now, if Sauce Gardner is going to travel with Pickens, I'll take the under. But I just don't know if they want to really go all out doing that. So I will take Pickens with the over going into this game.
I'll go under. I think Pickens reminds me of Metcalf from a body type standpoint. I think Sauce could cover him well.
I think they should. They should have him travel with him, but I just don't know if they're going to want to do that.
Garrett Wilson, over under 62.5. I'm going over.
I'll go over just slightly, though. I don't think it's going to be a big passing day.
I have a feeling you have the Jets getting killed based on some of these picks.
After last week, I had them winning by 10, and they completely blew it in my face. So I'm not very high on them.
But don't worry, they're a well-coached operation over there. Breece Hall.
Not saying that.
Over under 25.5 receiving yards.
I'll take the over on that one. I think the running backs and the tight ends are going to have big days for the Jets.
I'd go over on this too. It's very low. I'm still waiting for that big Breece, like either run for 60 plus or that can they call a screen for Breece? My God.
It's and that's kind of where you try to build the offensive camaraderie. A really good screen game is with offensive linemen that have played together for a very long time, and they understand the check marks of where they need to be on the field.
Jake Ferguson, over under 45.5.
That's an over. I think he's going to have a big day.
Javonte Williams, over under 16.5.
I'm going to go under. I don't think he's going to be their receiving back going in this particular game. I think Ferguson and Pickens have big days, but I think Williams will be kind of held back in the receiving.
Mason Taylor. This is interesting because Mason Taylor is starting to get really involved in the offense. He had 5 catches for 65 yards. He was one of the few bright spots from Monday's game against Miami. His over-under is 33.5 for receiving yards. Where are you leaning?
I think I'll take the over on that one as well. I think we're starting to see Mason Taylor put it all together. If he's fully healthy, I think he'll have a big day.
Josh Reynolds, who had 2 targets last week, 0 catches, over-under 16.5.
I'm going to hit the over. By like a yard or 2. I think 1 completion for 18, and that'll be it.
I'm going under. They have no one besides Garrett on the outside.
Yeah, they don't. And we knew that going in. This is not the offense to do that. It's just not. And listen, Justin Fields is not a guy that can read this defense consistently and deliver timely passes. He's going to go to his first read, he's going to go to his second read, and then he's going to take off.
Total receptions. George Pickens, over under 5.5.
I'll take the over on that one.
Garrett Wilson, over under 5.5.
Over. I think over for everything except Reynolds and Javonte Williams.
Reynolds, I'd go under 1.5 too. Mason Taylor, I think he has at least 4 catches. I go over. Javonte Williams, you're going over on 3 catches from 2.5.
No, I'm saying Williams and Reynolds both on the under. Everyone else.
Okay, Ferguson. All right, you made it easy for us, Breece. 4+ catches. Then how about that?
I listen. They're going to use him more and more as the season progresses. Particularly, I mean, if they're 0-6, 0-7 by the time that the trade deadline hits, it makes absolutely no sense for them to keep him on the roster if they're not intent on giving him a long-term extension.
Let's do anytime touchdown scorers, Nick. We had some fun with this the last couple of times we've done this activity on the show. So let's pull that up for everyone right now. But first, let me shout out Bo C in the house. He just gifted the community 5 channel memberships.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
Damn right he does. Bo, you're in our raffle for the Corbett helmet at the end of the show for 5. Thank you, as always, for your support, my friend. Here are some of the odds, but there's so many for them, I can't put it all in one screenshot. But here are the anytime first and last touchdown scorer odds from FanDuel. Is there anything here that you think is tremendous value just looking at it?
I think Kavontae Turpin and Jake Ferguson are 2 anytime touchdown holders that I think would be really, really good for the Cowboys. And I listen, I said it last week, but I think Mason Taylor's due, man. I think he's going to have a good game in this one. Cowboys don't really do a good job covering tight ends. I think those 3 anytime touchdowns are the bets to go after.
I might play Mason Taylor anytime touchdown every week because he's going to get in the end zone eventually.
Yeah, and he's playing too well for him not to.
Trying to think. I like Brees is minus 105 now without Braylon Allen there.
Justin Fields is a safe bet. Fields, I think if I were to do this, if I were to name 4 players, Fields, Ferguson, Turpin, Taylor.
Fields, Ferguson, Turpin, Taylor. Yeah, it's tough to push back on that. You could play Fields every week, anytime touchdown. I feel like just because of his running ability, he's going to find the end zone.
Absolutely.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's get to some super chats, squeeze in a few calls, and then we will say farewell to our good friend, Nick Faria. This one is from Cash Money Mike, who says Jets need to let Fields play his game. They also need to fix the effing defense. They should go after DJ Moore from Chicago and reunite him with our QB. Let's go, Jets. I love this team. I bleed green. I
don't think you need DJ Moore. First off, DJ Moore is not fixing any of the major issues on this team right now. That's number one.
Is he the head coach? Is he the defensive coordinator?
They need to fix the tackling. They need to fix the penalties. DJ Moore is not. The reason why the Jets are losing is not because of their passing offense. Passing offense has been adequate at best. It's not been great. It's not been bad. It's just been adequate. The running game has been great. Penalties, turnovers, tackling, and just the overall communication on defense have to improve. DJ Moore's not going to fix that. The quarterback isn't going to fix that overall. Those are the main issues. I can't say we need a number 2 wide receiver. We need a number 2 wide receiver, and that's the only thing we need. You need a defensive line. You need more edge rushers. You need better help at safety. You need better help at linebacker, and you probably are going to have to address what's going to happen at running back eventually because there's a lot of questions still to be answered on that end.
Our guy, Paul Taxter, supporting the community, entering himself in the raffle with 5 gifted memberships.
Quinnen gets the sack. Oh, Baker goes down.
We need the defense to make some plays. Paul, thank you. You are in for 5. Bo C, checking it in for 2 with the super chat. He wants to know, Nick, why are we abandoning the I formation in short yardage? One of the most effective formations in short yardage, especially against the blitz. Beck should be used as an actual fullback.
Yeah, I think if we are going to pinpoint an issue, a question that Tanner Engstrand kind of needs to solve, it's those short yardage situations. Again, it's not the reason why they're losing games because they're moving up and down the field, as he stated on Thursday. But it's certainly a question mark going in to a game like Dallas. I will sit here and say the Jets are one of 8 teams that voted to keep the tush push alive during the offseason. It makes no sense to me why they have 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and they don't just run the tush push. You have the kind of quarterback that should be able to run it effectively. You have the offensive line, and you have the pushers behind them. Why aren't you guys running that more often? That's a big question that I have for this offense in terms of that short yardage situation.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Reminder, this show, it's available as a podcast. When we get done live on YouTube every day, I upload it to Apple and Spotify so you can listen to us however you want to consume the Jake Asman Show each and every day for 4 hours a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, post-game show after every Jet game on Sunday. Spencer Green, he says, pull up the line on Jets, 10.5 wins now, Jake, 11-6. We on the way. Elect the kick ass. Beastbreaker, destroyed your alliance. Apologize now and get it back. I will take the alliance over. Spencer, you are out of your mind, and we love it. Thanks for supporting the show. Oh, my goodness. Just unbelievable. Hey, thank you to Zach Tendler. He just gifted a membership, so he joins the raffle at the end of the show for 1. All right, Nick, you ready for a couple calls?
Let's do it.
First up is our guy, Black Gypsy. Hello, Mr. Gypsy.
Yo, what's up, Jake? I have something I thought of because you put the 16 by my name. I guess it's for whatever the Asmaniac entry is. I want an Asmaniac jersey. For all the OGs, we should have Asmaniac jerseys.
No,
like
the 16 was your seed for Asmaniac Madness last year. Yeah,
I know. But I thought about it. I was like, I want a jersey with the 16 on the back and the Black Gypsy and Asmaniac on the front. That should be dope as hell. All right, so Faria, I have a question for you.
What's up?
2 questions, actually. Wilkes. Good DC or a bad DC?
I think in totality of his career, he's been a good DC, but I think where they're trying to do too much right now in marrying two different concepts, which makes him look very, very bad.
All right, that's the first. All right, so second question. With the offense that we have, right? Like, why? 'Cause you guys said about I form. Like, this team is built to run option football. So lining up in an I form and then going to a split back with two, having a fullback on one side and a receiver and a running back on the other side, tight ends, and then you can go two tight ends or one tight end and two receivers would be the best thing for him to do, because that first game against Pittsburgh, the split back worked. It worked almost seamlessly until Justin took one wrong read and got hit in the backfield. Like, our team is made to be an option team. That offense is made to be an option team. It's not made to do anything else but run the option or the wing. What do you think
They've
about
been
that?
doing that too. Like against Miami, they were running plenty of read options. They were running plenty of zone reads. They were running plenty of RPOs. It's just those particular reads worked out in that game against Pittsburgh, and I do think they worked out against Miami as well. Guys, they had over 400 yards of offense. They were close to 50% on third down. The only issue, really, the two main issues were the turnovers and the penalties. And in that way, you can only blame the offensive coaching staff and for certain aspects of it, but you can't blame the offensive coaching staff.
No.
Jalen Allen diving over the dialing over the end line and fumbling the football right before he got in.
I'm not blaming them at all for our team cannot win. I said it before yesterday. Our team can't win because our defense can't make stops. So no matter what our offense does, we cannot win a game until something changes on defense. I don't care what we did on offense.
Well, they force turnovers. You could allow points, but if you give your offense extra possessions, short fields to score, that changes games.
He's running Mandy, and Dak is going to destroy Mandy. He's going to destroy that man in zone D that we're trying to play, because our guys aren't fast enough. Sauce can't play man. Sauce can travel a little bit, but he's too handsy. Like, we need to figure out the zone defense and then try to work that team into a man defense. We're not a man defense team. Like, we are not.
Against Dallas, you better be, because you can't play zone against Prescott. You just can't.
I mean, if you play man, they're going to bite on the play action every time.
Well, no, but the concern is if you play man, Dak's going to run crosses against you the entire game. But that's where you need athletic linebackers to be able to shut that down and make sure you have that communication in the back end. But if you play zone against Prescott, he's going to kill you.
He is, but you slow it down. You give your guys more opportunity. Man, if you're beat, you're beat. And we're going to get beat because we don't have the linebackers to play the man defense that we need to play. They've been beat for.
That's the big one. The safety play is the biggest concern.
That too. But yeah, that's the jerseys, Jake. Definitely jerseys. The jerseys is a dope idea. I like that shit. That's all I got, guys.
I was thinking about getting you, like, when like teams celebrate championships, they have like the t-shirts. I was gonna get you a asshole gauntlet champion, Black Gypsy, because you dealt with all of them.
I'll take it. I am a man of many forms. You know what I mean? I'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Black Gypsy, check it in. Let's keep it rolling with your calls before we say goodbye to Nick. And up next on the Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline is the Kyle Clifton.
What's going on, fellas?
How's the Beast Attic? What does it smell like?
Oh my God, it's like uncorking death up here. Yankees before we get into the Jet stuff. I saw that they're deliberating between Warren and Heel for Saturday. Why is that even a choice? Like, I think that in the one game against the Blue Jays this year, Warren got tuned up pretty badly. And we know what Heel can be if he's right. Like, the upside with Heel is much, much, much greater. So, like, if you see if you can get 4 innings out of him, right? Isn't that the play?
I would start Heel. Now, Heel walks so many guys, but when he's on, I mean, he was the rookie of the year last year. I think you got to start him.
Right. So, the problem with the Cowboys is they don't yield to any sacks, and we've had problems getting home as it is. They're in the bottom quarter of the league as far as number of sacks yielded. So, like, I feel like we're going to have a real tough time stopping them when they're on offense. That means that it is finally time. If we have a fake punt or something to get us an extra position, because we're not forcing any turnovers either. It's time to go for it on fourth down. It's time to pull out the fake punt. It's time to do the stuff when you are 0-4 and you're desperate. And hopefully we'll see that a little bit more on Sunday. I have no faith in this defense's ability to stop a Dak Prescott led offense at all. But that said, maybe we can keep it close if we can run the ball a little bit. And I'll shut up and listen. I appreciate your time, guys.
Kyle, excellent call. Nick, your thoughts on that approach on Sunday?
Yeah, don't disagree with anything really. Really, when it comes down to beating Dak Prescott, it's about getting pressure. It's not always about getting sacked. It's not always about getting home. It's just about getting pressure, forcing him into mistakes, forcing him into bad decisions. If they hit him and he throws a pick or two, that could change the complexion of the game. Then you force their defense, which has been very, very bad, to stop the run, stop the pass, and they haven't been able to do that so far this season. So a good test for the Jets defense to figure out if they have any sort of pride, if they can figure out anything from a schematic standpoint to play at least competently going into Sunday, because it's been ugly for the first month of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind to the word ugly. We're describing it as ugly. Austria Jet fan, he's in the raffle for one. Mike Dems is in the raffle for one. For those who tuned in late, we are playing for a signed Wayne Corbett helmet at the end of the show today. A couple notes from Glenn, who's speaking right now. Michael Carter is out officially, and Jermaine Johnson and Kene Nwanu are going to come down to the wire. So Jermaine could actually, I guess, still play. He could be a game-time decision. And the injury Braylon Allen suffered to his knee is going to keep him out 8 to 12 weeks. So if it's 8, his season is not necessarily over, but I'd be surprised if we see him.
Yeah, I agree. And again, it's going to come down to what happens in practice today. If Jermaine and Nwanu actually practice, then that conversation has to happen. But if they're DNPs again, I just don't see the Jets throwing either player out there without any practice time.
I'd love Jermaine, even if he could just give you some reps.
Changes the conversation on the defense at least, because then you don't put as much pressure on Michael Clemens to actually produce close to 100% of the snaps. If you get a rotation going, this Cowboy offensive line is not fantastic right now. They're really banged up. I think there are questions to be had there. They could get some wins on the edge.
Put up the wrong tweet here. Here's the tweet from Dennis Wazak. Glenn says Carter, concussion is out. Edge rusher Jermaine Johnson, Kene Nwanu, hamstring, come down to the wire. We'll see how they do throughout the day, etc.
Yep, but plain and simple.
Braylon Allen, 8 to 12 weeks, man. Just shut him down for the year. Get him healthy for next year.
Yeah, I think that's going to be this. I think that's going to eventually be. They're still deciding if it's surgery or not. We'll see what happens, but I think it's a safe bet. We may not see Allen the rest of the way.
We also have some unfortunate news. Aaron Glenn said the Jets had a really good week of practice, one of their better this season. The Jets in their history, Nick, are 0-1,258 when their head coach says they had a good week of practice before the ensuing game.
Yeah, it usually does not bode well. We shall see what happens. It's happened before. The Jets were 0-4 going in a Week 5 contest against the Cowboys in 2019. Cowboys were seen as a juggernaut at that time, and then they went to MetLife Stadium and lost. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. It's going to be an uphill battle, though, to say the least.
The Jets had a really good week of practice, one of their better this season. The amount of times that we have fans have heard that, and then the Jets get their goddamn asses kicked on Sunday. I mean, it's unbelievable, man.
I don't blame you one bit. I don't blame anyone one bit for the frustration, but something's got to change, and maybe it changes this week. You never know.
Aaron Glenn needs to go full Adam Gase on Sunday, folks.
And Jet fans are clueless. I mean, they're dopes. They don't know anything. This is a really good hire. Gase is a great coach. Okay, Adam Gase is Kyle Shanahan before Kyle Shanahan. Gase is a great coach.
That's what we need.
I can't get over he's Kyle Shanahan before Kyle Shanahan. Good God.
Unreal.
God.
Nick, score prediction for Sunday.
It's not going to be pretty. I've got 34-17 Cowboys.
Wonderful. Just wonderful.
I can't. I want to pick the Jets in this game. I really, really do. I'm always the positive guy where I try to be. After that game against Miami, where Miami has been a mess all season, you go in, you turn the ball over 3 times, you have 13 penalties, some of which were not your fault, some of them were just bad refereeing, but you have 13 penalties. What am I supposed to do with that? How do you take a positive away going into a game against a Cowboys team that has played above what many people expected from them? I can't. I just can't.
It just never ends, baby. It never ends. Thank God for the New York Yankees. Nick, appreciate your time. We'll be reading your work and following along.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria with us there in his weekly spot. He likes the Jets to lose. Shocking. I know. Julian, he just gifted the channel 10 memberships. Julian, making it rain for the people. The following 10 listeners are now channel members, and Julian joins our raffle for 10. Charlie Gadsden, Gregory Marique, Frankie L, Late Night, Dino, Jay, Shane Tuttle, Dean, Spaceman, Matt from L5, and Cam Schlittler is a goddamn American hero. Those are the 10 people who got memberships. We will get to more of your calls right now. Stop everything and sing along.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
What's up, fellas? Good morning, Jake.
Hello, Neil.
Congratulations on the Yankees. It's so wonderful to see a New York team beat a Boston obnoxious son of a bitch bastard. Boston fans, I can't stand them. Very happy you guys did that job yesterday. Very nice. Couple comments. And I'm not making points anymore. I make comments.
Wow, you're changing the brand.
Nick Faria talking about Angstram's play calling being very, very good. I watched 2 master chess players yesterday on the offensive calling, and it looks worlds different than what we've had so far this year. And I'm talking about McVay and Shanahan.
Well, even McVay, though, he was getting killed, and he said it was a bad call on the 4th and 1 just to run the ball there.
Okay, yeah. But, they did a tush-push with their quarterback. What's his name?
You mean their tight end?
No. The 49ers did a tush-push with an injured quarterback. The quarterback was injured yesterday.
Talking about Mac Jones?
Mac Jones. He's injured. He barely could walk. And they did a full back push in the back for 1 yard. And they made it. And I'm thinking to myself, we had Braylon Allen at 240 pounds. We have a big back we could bring in. We could do a 2-back set, put Justin under center, take a step to the right, and just have the 2 guys behind him push him for a yard. It's just the easiest play. So there's one play that Angstrom could put in his playbook as a guaranteed first down every time we had short yardage. Secondly, we have to do more up-tempo, Jake. The only time we really moved the ball effectively is when we did a lot of up-tempo against Tampa in that second half, and we moved the ball. And we can't wait till we're down 2 scores to start doing up-tempo. I'd like to do it early in the game, not wait till we're down 2 scores to do anything up-tempo. Because the more I think Bart Scott mentioned it yesterday. When you come out of the huddle, you should have 15 to 18 seconds on the play clock. So you could do your shifts. You could have the quarterback view the defense and what they're putting together and what they're doing to counter it. too many times in the game, Angstrom, the expert play caller, takes too much time to get the play into Fields. Then they get into the huddle. Then they break the huddle, and there's 8 seconds left in the play clock. I've seen that time and time again, and that has to stop. So there's remedy number 2 to get the offense to play better. Actually, I gave 3. Quick tempo, get the hell out of the huddle when you're not in quick tempo, get to the line of scrimmage, and do a tush push. If they could just do those 3 things, they will be worlds better on offense. And let's be real here, okay? We know how trash our defense is, but I heard 2 guys that do picks yesterday, and they were given the statistics on the Cowboys. Dude, they're worse than our defense.
They are, but their offense is way better.
I get it, but our offense has not been the problem, Jake. Our offense has been putting points up. We get yards. We get, rushing yards. The only thing we haven't gotten, and I don't think Dallas has many turnovers this year. I don't think they have an interception this year or something like that. I don't think they have any interceptions in 4 games. Did you know that?
I did not. I don't know if that's true, though. I could try and look it up for you.
I think this guy, there was a guy that did a bunch of stats on the Dallas defense. Oh, my God. It is atrocious. So I expect we're going to be able to run the ball.
They have 1 this year, Neil. They have 1 interception.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have 1.
Or sorry, no. Interceptions. They have 4 this year on defense.
Oh, they do have 4? Maybe I was thinking of turnovers. But
Well, that'd be 4.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I will say this. We should run the ball, take time off the clock. I do not want to see what's his name on the field. I don't want to see Adams on the field. I want to see Clemens as little as possible. I was at that 2019. I was in New Orleans, Michelle. And the Jet Cowboy game was on. I went over to Manning's. Did you ever go to Manning's in New Orleans?
No.
Incredible sports bar. They have indoor sports and outdoor sports with all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, it's an absolute party. So I go there, and right away I say, I want these 4 cushion chairs, 1 for me and Michelle, and 2 for my feet, that I want to visualize the game on the big screen. Behind me is a bunch of Dallas fans on a table. And Darnold, as you know, is having the game of his life. I'm cheering it on, and the Cowboys were making a late run. So this woman gets up, and she starts doing like some stupid cheer from the side of my view here. All right, Cowboys, here we come, blah, blah, blah. When we won that game, Jake, I was in their faces. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Certainly when we went to Dallas, it wasn't so beautiful.
I was with you at that game.
I know. That wasn't a beautiful game. Beautiful stadium, beautiful tour the day before. A lot of nice things, great time, but not a good result.
Now, Neil, we have to discuss what the chat is saying because they're on to something. Gator said that the Jet season turned when you didn't hump the Josh Allen jersey before week 2.
Well, you have somebody. There's going to be a humping of a Dallas jersey, but not by me. I think Gator should put that together.
Black Gypsy says, Neil, you better be humping something this week. Say it, Neil. Say it. I will hump something for a Jets win. I'm not listening to you, Neil, until you hump something for a win. Not listening.
Black Gypsy, you're the best.
Ooh, take that, you dirty pillow.
We don't want your dog humping. We want you humping.
No, I want that to be a Dallas jersey. It should be a Prescott jersey over that pillow. And we give it a nice hump, and we got the win, Gator. Come on, get the Dallas jersey on that pillow. Let's get Prescott on that pillow, and we win the game. Come on, Gator. What are you doing? That's amateur hour. Get a jersey on the pillow, Dak Prescott, and let's get it done. That's what we need. Jake, it's perfect. Put the 4 jersey on. Let's go. Anyhow, what else do you got, Jake? What do you got?
Hey, are you inspired by or are you honored by the fact that Burkinator is channeling you when he calls in and he wants to make 13 plus points?
Listen, you had that guy on the other day. He made about 34 points.
That's
on
Burkinator.
Defense.
Yeah, that's Burkinator.
He made. I want to know how many he made because I tell you something right now. he made at least 15 to 18 points before you took him off. And then he goes, now I want to talk about the defense. Oh, my God. He could have went on for about 44 points in that call. And then you cut him off. Remember, Jake?
Yeah, I had to go. I mean,
right. It was unbelievable. He made like at least 25 offensive points. And then he goes, now I want to tell you about the defense. It was ridiculous. Oh, my God.
Neil, I hope we get a win because I can't do much more of this. This is just brutal.
I know. I can't do it either. I swear to God. And, you know, I don't have the Yankees to hang my hat on to look forward to at 4 o'clock like you do. So this is it for us, man. And I think, you know, like I said, Dallas is susceptible. Glenn's going to get – look, if they can't get a win for Aaron Glenn now, when the hell are they going to get a win? They got to play inspired football one of these days. No, Jake? I mean, we're not that shitty.
No, they should have a win now. I mean, look, as bad as the Jet teams have been in the past, they have not started 0-5 with a first-year coach ever. Like Adam Gase didn't start 0-5. Rich Kotite didn't start 0-5. Like this, Lou Holtz didn't start 0-5. Like this would be uncharted territory.
That's why I really think, you know, based on that, based on the fact that we have a roster. We don't have as shitty a roster as we did in those days, Jake. I know. I saw the Kotite roster. We saw the Gase roster. This roster is far better than those. And, you know, it's just a matter of not turning the ball over, keeping the mistakes to a minimum. We're going to play in front of the home crowd, which I know it's going to be half Dallas, but we're going to be aching for a win. And, you know, Dallas doesn't have our number. They're not the team that has our number usually. They're just not. You know, we play them well. And see that torch right there? That's going to torch Prescott's ass.
Let's go. Let's go,
Let's
Neil.
go!
These goddamn exploding cigars. Like, gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Love it, Neil. Look at the Jets, as bad as they are going to win a game they're not supposed to at some point. I hope it's this one. The line is still a little fishy. It kind of reminds me of the Texans game last year when it's like, what? The Jets are a favorite? Why? They're 2-6. Houston, I don't. Someone look up what the Texans' record was going into that game. They had a winning record, and the Jets won. But I don't see it right now. I mean, look, things happen in the NFL. It's a week-to-week league, but it feels like it's week-to-week for every team besides the Jets. Now, the Jets aren't favored in this game like they were in that Texans game, but it feels like kind of a bit of a fishy line. Spencer Green checking in. He says, Jake, be real. You don't see 11-6 or 10-7. You know, maybe if we're playing Madden, I do. Does that count? Man. Bo C checking in with another $10 super chat. 2 more raffle tickets for our guy, Bo. We 100% already know that we can't keep up with Dallas receivers. Knowing that, we should be game planning for cushion and playing up to the ball, extra linebacker, and hold our ass, hoping they could stop plays. Whatever they're doing, do something different. Personnel-wise, game plan-wise. I've seen nothing to tell me that will happen. We're going to watch because we're crazy fans, and I hope the Jets show up. I mean, by accident, they're going to get a turnover at some point. But, I mean, do we have anything to point to make us feel like it's coming? Ladies and gentlemen, the great Craig Wilton, a.k.a. Craig in Australia, is watching the show live. Shout out to Craig. He's in Hell's Kitchen right now at his favorite coffee spot. Love that. Craig is more New York than like 99% of my show. Craig is the best. Shout out to you, Craig. How was the Broadway show last night? Craig saw the MJ, the musical on Broadway yesterday. Remember when the Jets on Hard Knocks, they showed them seeing it a couple years back? Unreal. Craig says MJ was epic. Love it. All right, here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to shout out my buddy Sam Falk, who's in the house. Hello, Samuel. Now, we're going to listen in to Aaron Glenn, who spoke moments ago. He said the Jets had a great week of practice. What else did AG say? We listen in and find out now.
Morning.
Hold on. What's up with the background here? They do this. Do they do this press conference from like a bomb shelter? Where is Aaron Glenn speaking?
On the injury front, Michael Carter, he'll be out. We understand how this protocol thing goes, especially on the short week. All right, so he'll be out. Jermaine and Kane, that one could come down to the wire. All right, so I get a chance to speak with the trainers right after this, see exactly where they're at, and then be hopeful in that situation. So, but again, we'll see where that's going to go. Going to this game this week, I thought this week's practice has been really, really good. There's been a focus on us in-house, on our why and the reasons why, and more importantly, the how, and how do we improve and how do we get better. So players are having really good attitudes about that, really good attitudes about how we're going to go about practice. And man, it was really good. It was one of our better weeks of practice. So again, a good opponent that we have to go against. Two teams that I would say desperate to get a win. And each week you're always desperate. I don't care if you're winning or you're losing. That's how this league is. And most teams that are desperate, they play a certain way. So I look forward to that. I look forward to the challenge of playing this team. I look forward to the challenge of playing this quarterback. I know Shotty very well. And he's going to have his team ready. I know that, but we'll be ready too. So, again, looking forward to that. So, any questions?
Did you get clarity on Braylon Allen? So you guys put him on IR. Does he need surgery?
Well, there's two different ways he can go about it. He could actually rehab this, and it'll be the same time frame, or he can have surgery and get it cleaned up. But the rehab time will be exactly the same. So that'll be a decision that him and his agent would have to make, and I'm not making that decision for him.
What is the general rehab time? I know it's a minimum of 4 weeks out. Like, is it a 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, well, it can be 8 to 12 weeks.
Okay.
It seems like that. So, so again, we know it's going to be a significant amount of time. But again, man, that'll be his decision on how he wants to go about that, and I know he'll make the right decision for himself.
With Jermaine, does he need to get on the field today to play on Sunday?
Well, again, I want to talk to the trainers and see how that goes.
Is that a high ankle? Aaron, I don't think we asked you.
It was a calf.
Oh, it was a calf.
Calf,
okay.
Yeah.
We saw you yesterday with the boxing rope. Is that something you've done before, and is that just kind of a sign of what you're emphasizing this week?
Yeah, it was more the emphasis, and I've always been a big on, listen, you can emphasize things with words all you want, but you have to put action behind the emphasis, and that's on, listen, we can't turn the ball over. I mean, we know it lose game. I think yesterday was a great example of that. You're talking about a team. I think they was at -6 or whatnot. They were somewhere down, somewhere at the bottom as far as turnovers are concerned. And then, they played yesterday and they get 2 or 3 of them. And now they're somewhere in the middle of the pack. So there's so much emphasis on this right now. And I get it because it does lose you games, man. But these things can turn like instantly. And I'm looking for our guys to make that same type of impact when it comes to taking the ball away. The thing is, we have to be intentional about it. And then offensively on special teams, we can't give it away. So it's been talked about. We're doing everything we can to improve on that. And these things come in bunches, and we know that. So hopefully our bunches are out the way. And listen, I look back on, I think it was in 21 in Detroit. I think we were leading the league after the first 4 games. Hell, after the first 5 games, I think we had 11 turnovers. And then from then on out, man, we were all good. So these things happen. The thing you got to work on them, emphasize them, and put some action behind that emphasis, and it's been good.
Do you enjoy getting in the mix like that?
I do. I've always been a coach of action. I guess you can say that. Listen, I really want to get down and dirty and show the players exactly how you want to do things. And I think I just thought it was important for all of us as coaches to be a part of it. And you saw a number of coaches out there punching at the ball. And the players understand the emphasis of that when you do that. So it was good.
Williams.
We are watching Aaron Glenn's Friday presser. Just a reminder to like the video, subscribe to the channel. And oh yeah, if you tuned in late, we're giving away this at the end of the show. It is a signed helmet by Jets legend Wayne Corbett. So gift memberships or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. Let's head back to the bomb shelter where apparently Aaron Glenn is holding this presser from. Here's AG.
Dallas's running back was a guy who kind of dealt with injuries early in his career.
Yeah.
He was out a little bit last year and is really coming to his own.
Yeah.
It seems like this season. What have you seen from him? And I don't know if you studied him all when he was in Denver, but does he look better than now?
Well, we played against him, when he was in Denver, I think his rookie year. And, man, he was a violent physical runner then, and nothing has changed. And, man, this league here is so funny to where you can be counted out because of injuries, and we've seen that before. You can be counted out because of issues that you've had. And then, man, you really figure out how to fix those issues, or you really figure out how to take care of your body to make sure you don't you can get away from those injuries. And it seemed like he's done that. And he's running just as hard as he did when he was in Denver. I remember him coming out of college too. He was a violent runner, and that's what everybody liked about him. So we're going to have to make sure we wrap up. We're going to have population to the ball to make sure we get this player down, because he can hurt you. He can hurt you, and we got to be good with that.
You talked about, since you got this job, being the head coach, being the coach of the whole team. I'm just curious, how do you split your time during the week, offense, defense? Is it 50-50? Do you feel you get yourself going more?
Well, I don't put a time frame on that. I just know I'm in the special teams meeting. Then after that, I go to the offensive meeting, go to the defensive meeting. And sometimes, those meetings are at the same time quite a bit. And sometimes when I'm in there, when I feel like there's topics that guys are talking about and I want to be involved in that, I would just stay right there. So it's not a true time that I put on it. It's just, man, I try to make myself involved in every aspect. But I also make sure that, listen, I'm not micromanaging my coaches. I'm going to allow them to do their job. That's what I hired them for. Because there's so many things outside that I have to make sure that I get done, that I want to make sure those guys know, listen, I trust them. I do. I trust Wilkes. I trust Tanner. I trust Banjo to do their jobs. And listen,
I trust Wilkes. Why? That should have been the follow-up.
I'm there to assist. I'm there to help. And if there's issues that I feel like needs to be talked about, I talk to those guys about it.
What stands out to you from your playing days with Dallas in 05 and 06?
Man, what stands out? I would say this. I was my first practice, and I forgot who the player was. He did something, and Bill responded a totally different way that he would when he was with the Jets. And I told him, man, you're getting soft. So I hope he doesn't hear this or see this. But that was it. That was it. But I had a great time down there playing with those guys. Listen, I think Jared's a great owner. He really cares about his players. He really wants to win, just like most owners in this league, just like our owner. And
also, real quick, I guess someone remembered, hey, maybe we should put the background on behind Glenn so it doesn't look like he's broadcasting from a bomb shelter.
Pretty good franchise to play for.
You pick up more? You obviously went against Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
When he was his first couple years in Chicago.
Absolutely.
What do you like about him?
Man, I remember him and Demo, David Montgomery, that the Lions have right now, going against both of those guys. And it's funny because I just told him this today that, man, we thought he was just as good as David was. So I'm happy we got this player. He still has a lot of meat on the bone left. So now with the injuries that we've had, and to be able to get a player like this, man, was critical for us. So I look forward to seeing him play.
Can you play Sunday?
Say it again?
Can you play Sunday?
Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. He just got here.
Right.
So we'll see. There's a lot that goes into what we're doing, and we'll see.
All right, so that's Aaron Glenn, who was not talking from a bomb shelter. It appeared to be the Jet facility. They just didn't put the backdrop on. I mean, that is at least kind of funny to laugh at. Here's the bomb shelter, and here's the Jet facility. Bomb shelter, Jet facility. Anyway, let's see if Jermaine plays. I hope he does. I would be surprised if he does. I hope he does. I wouldn't count on it. If Nwannu could play, at least he's a legit returner. So that'd be good. But I don't know if he's going to play either. Hey, Burkinator, while the presser was going on, just gifted the community, 5 memberships. Burkinator, you're the man. Kyle Clifton says, I really enjoyed calling it a Jet Talk with RFK Jr. earlier. Get some rest, some honey tea, my man. Soothe those pipes. It's a blessing that I'm not doing a second show today because I'm filling in for Stephen A. at 6 p.m. tonight. So everyone listen to the radio. But the fact that you think my voice sounds RFK Jr. level is not a good sign. I will be drinking a lot of tea after the show. If you want to know why I don't have a voice, here's a little snippet as to why. Went nuts last night. That was one of the best environments I've been at in a long time. And I would trade my voice to end the Red Sox season 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Let's go, Yanks. More of your calls. Then we'll wrap our show. Get in the raffle. Only one raffle today, which is why we stepped up with a big-time prize, baby. A signed Wayne Corbett helmet. I'll mail it to the winner right after the show if you win. Ladies and gentlemen, Philly Noodles is on the program. He's next. And then Bobby Midnight. What's up, Philly?
What's up, dude? Yeah, man. Wait, let me ask you, how much were those tickets, man? You have to be too personal. They gotta be expensive.
Let's just say I got quite the deal on them from a friend of the show.
All right, I was
Shout
gonna
out
say,
to Chef Nico if he's listening.
Yeah, those gotta be expensive right now. I've never been to a Mets playoff game, not because they weren't there when I was there in New York. It's just too expensive. Yeah, man. Honestly, I can't rewrite the history. Like last week, what happened to Braylon. If Ngannou is ready to go, I'd be pretty pissed off that 1 week later we get Ngannou, but 1 week before we lose Braylon for 8 to 12 weeks.
Have they asked AG? I don't think they did. Why Braylon Allen was back on kickoff returns in the first place?
He don't need that. Oh God, that's just, you know what I mean? Like, how do you answer that? You know, he's gonna make a way to get out of it, but it's like, dude, that just terrible.
I'd love to know the rationale. Like, why do they think he's a good kickoff returner? Like, are you so bad at that position that you had to try things outside the box because you neglected it all summer, even though we knew Xavier Gibson shouldn't be on this team?
100%. And you knew Ngannou was bad and injured. I mean, excuse me, not bad, injured for weeks before the season started.
That's his MO. He's been hurt a lot.
So I mean, yeah, it would have been a bombshell in the bomb shelter. So maybe it could have been asked this week. So predicating on that, I gotta ask, you know, if we lose here and the season is just starting to continue to go where it's going, those Brees Allen, I mean, those Brees Hall calls are gonna be coming in. And Moog is gonna have to have a good conversation with him. And I don't know, man. You hear a 3rd round pick, you get your 3rd round pick for this year that you don't have, you're probably gonna have to take it. Not to say that the kid, you know, he's not worth it, but it's more about, you don't think he's going to go to a team next year if he's a complete free agent that could make the playoffs that wants him? You know, he'd probably take a pay cut for that. Why wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, players want to get paid, though. I mean, if the Jets offered him the highest money, he knows he has a clear role where he's going to get the ball, he would stay. I don't know if they've already determined what they're going to do there. I mean, the Braylon Allen injury complicates things because you still want to win games, and if you trade away Brees, who's running the ball for you? What does your offense now look like? And what message does that send to the locker room if you're doing that? And if you're Aaron Glenn trying to, you know, create winning habits and you trade away your second best offensive player, I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, like I contemplated in my mind, Big Q. I love Big Q. I hope they would never contemplate it, but maybe he's sick and tired. But getting the C on the captain's on the jersey, I don't think he's going to go nowhere, no matter what. Period. End of story.
Well, they're not going to do it in season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't think they're going to trade Quinn Williams anyway. I think Q should play his whole career as a Jet. I just hope he doesn't have to go his entire career as a Jet without, forget the playoffs, a winning season. It's insane.
Yeah, it's sick. Listen, we could talk all day about like what strategy, right? Hopefully they did something. They got to force a turnover, but they got to get to the quarterback. They need a sack. Last week was outrageous. I've never seen a Jet game, I think, in my life without a sack, like ever. It's the Jets. We get sacks is what we do.
I mean, it's a franchise staple. No matter how abysmal the season could be, we get to the quarterback. There's never been a year I don't think a game I've ever seen. So last week was, again, I've never seen some shit like that before. Something's got to happen. You know, one of those guys. I mean, being a captain, you got to be like, yo, bro, I'm gonna put this on me. Anybody help me just get through these doubles, whatever it takes. I got to hit the quarterback, bro. He's got to get to Prescott. It's Prescott. You know, he can get taken down. He's not superhero status. You know, so I expect some type of a few sacks here. I don't think it's coming from Clemens, whatever, but I think Q's got to get it done. Let's see if Brownlee's playing. I'm really interested to see if they throw him into a couple of corner blitz. The kid's he's pretty stout at the line, so I'm excited to see that kid play. And Michael Carter II, that's a guy I would get rid of. Obviously, I think we all been saying that. I would trade him to Salah.
He's
What Salah have?
casualty. I don't know if they're going to. He's not healthy right now. Can you trade him? I mean, he's got a concussion. Maybe could they move him?
Weeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, could they move him? Maybe I'd have to look at what the ramifications are of moving him contract wise. What he's owed. He's having a bad year. You'd be selling very low right now. I think you just keep him for depth and hope that maybe he gets healthy and he can make plays again. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're going to trade Michael Carter for a 5th round pick. What does that do?
Yeah. That's brutal. Oh man. It makes me think like, when the contract was given to him, promised through JD, and then, did they foresee like, the injuries? It's like, I didn't think his injuries were that bad over the past couple of years, but I guess really diminished his play, or is he really not versatile between different defensive schemes and shit? It's like, I don't know, man, but I think something will get shaken up with some type of trade of one of these players if we keep going down this path. We rack a couple of wins, maybe they'll feel a little more softer about it, let it play it out for the rest of the season. But I think if there's a few more losses here before week 9, somebody's gonna get, one of those contracts is gonna go. I think they're not gonna sit there and let that play out too long. If they
We'll
do,
see. The first thing is
we'll see.
personnel. Let's see if they play, some different guys on the back end of the secondary. Do they do anything with the defensive front? I mean, it's doing the same thing every week. It's not working. Glenn's talking about turnovers in that presser. They come in bunches. They're not even in position to come up with any turnovers because guys are wide open. So how are you going to get a turnover, an interception, a fumble if every time the quarterback drops back, they get the ball out so quick because guys are free immediately?
I'm saying, dude, Prescott will eat us up all day, but it's like, that's what I'm saying. You need to, if the pressure, again, last week was crazy, bro. We had no pressure, and it's the Jets. This is not like we get pressure to the quarterback. We always have. Rex Ryan days. You can name it. There's too many times we've always had stout defensive players on the line that get through. So I don't know what it is, but some type of turnover has got to happen. And how about they throw the ball to Arian Smith? What do you think this week?
How about we recreate the Robbie Anderson touchdown from Sam Darnold against the Cowboys? The last time Dallas played the Jets at MetLife, right? Let's throw the bomb, throw it up there. Let's have Fields to Arian Smith, and let's have a 90-yard touchdown again, like the play in 2019.
Yes, sir. Call it out, Jake. You got it. Have a good one, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Philly Noodles checking in, giving us a tremendous phone call. Can I point something out that is so absurd? So the Buffalo Bills and their idiotic, moronic fans, they always like to say, we're the only New York team, right? You know the Bills fans, Bills Mafia, those assholes. Can't stand them. Right? We're the only New York team. Ha, ha, ha. These assholes just wished the Blue Jays good luck in the playoffs. You're the only New York team, right? So you're wishing a Canadian baseball team luck that's going up against the New York Yankees. The team in New York that has been the most successful franchise in the city's sports history. New York's team, they're playing the Yankees. I'm going to quote tweet this. The Toronto Bills, assholes. What a bunch of a-holes. I can't stand the Bills. If a Bills fan ever says they're a New York team again, please send them this. They are playing the Yankees. They are playing the Yankees on Saturday. They're wishing the Blue Jays good luck. I love it. I love it. Hilarious. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's talk about 1v1me. It's an app that you need to download if you're a gamer and you want to have some competitive juices on the line. Chance to win some cash money. And 1v1me is the game for you. 1v1me brings the competition of sports to video games. Every day you can watch and stake on matchups in Madden, NBA 2K, FC, Call of Duty, Search and Destroy. All the games stream live. Every match has refs, and payouts are instant. These aren't just random online lobbies. They're the best players in the scene, pros, streamers, and rivals with season playoffs and championships. Game on the line. Every game matters. Over 100 million has already been paid out on the app, and the community is growing fast. If you're a sports fan, a gamer, or just someone who loves having a little extra on the line, 1v1me is where you need to be. It's not just about winning. It's about bragging rights, too. Every match has the chat going crazy, and you can back your pick in real time. Download today. Use code Asman. Your first stake on the app is risk-free. That's code Asman for a risk-free first stake. Shout out to 1v1me for supporting our show. More of your calls. Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is where we are headed, people. And we say hello to this guy.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hey, Jake, I got a lot of things to tell you. For the rest of the show, do you need me to read the super chats first?
Do I need you to read the super chats?
Yeah, you save that voice for tonight. Are
you saying my voice is in rough shape, Bobby?
Yeah, well, I was cheering for the Yankees yesterday too, 4-0. Okay, right? So what we could say to the Bills is that who won a Super Bowl? Oh, the New York Jets won the Super Bowl, and he went to 4 and haven't won 0. So shut the hell up, Bill fans. And Mike calls them the Poop Mafia too.
The Poop Mafia.
Yeah, and he came up with that idea. I think it was last year. Remember? I think he called it to Nick Shine Show. Kept calling the Poop Mafia.
The Poop Mafia, yes.
I met a friend of yours from Syosset. He lives in Syosset, right? He's a doctor. Akeem.
Yes.
What's his last name? I can pronounce it.
I don't remember.
It's like
Mikey's told me about this guy.
Yeah, I know. I met him. He's a nice guy.
I
said, do you miss New York? He said, no. I said, no, Vermont sucks. I told him, I bet you missed the food. I asked him if he missed New York pizza. Yes, he did. Black and white cookies, Mr. Softy, and some bread hot dogs. Oh, you're getting me hungry now.
What a story, Bob. You really hit on all the classics.
And then with Stephen A., you know what show he plays on now sometimes? It's in the afternoon, about 3:00 in the afternoon.
I know he's on some soap opera. I don't care. Do you have any football points today, Bob?
Yeah, no, I will. I know. Tell him that he's a great actor. Okay.
I'm filling in for him. I'm not co-hosting with him.
Oh, I know, but I thought you talked to him.
No, I don't talk to Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got that confused.
You have anything else?
I'm talking about the Jets now. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, last year they didn't use Breece Hall the right way, right? You agree with that, right?
Yes.
And they don't use him the correct way this year either, right?
I think it's been a little better. I think he needs to be featured more in the passing game.
Yes, I agree with that. That's what's that pass that you pass to the running back? You try to drag into the
forward pass?
Not a forward pass. I thought you call that a different thing, though. You know, when he goes out the backwards.
When a running back goes out, it runs a route, they call that the forward pass.
Was it a swing pass or something?
Screen pass?
Screen pass. Thank you. That's what it's called. Screen pass. Yeah, use him more with that, right?
Okay.
And then dumbass on the defense better wake up and smell the damn coffee You got to come up with a different scheme for the defense. Definitely. You know, he uses the people in the wrong positions, like Nick Shine says. I do agree on that. He does not use the right people in the right place, you know. And then for the receivers, I think you should get. Can you sign a wide receiver? Another wide receiver.
They are not going to add another wide receiver right now.
All right, just asking. All right, and then I'm gonna call in your show. I'm gonna try to get on Sirius XM and call you at 8:00. You said, right?
6 to 8. You have some points prepared. All right, write them down.
Yes, I gave good points, don't I?
It took a little while. You didn't know what a screen pass was, but we got there.
I forgot. Hey, do you like my co-host show yesterday?
Yeah, Addison, I think, is Wally Pippin you, Bob.
I know. I let him. That's fine. He's doing a good job.
I think he's going to take over, though. It's just going to be known as the Addy Show, and Bobby Midnight program will cease to exist.
Well, it's still on. My show's still on.
Good.
But no, he kicked the ass yesterday, I tell you. And I think I didn't know it was going against your show. That wasn't my plan to do that, okay?
It's okay. I'm not offended.
No, I don't want to step on your toes, Jake.
You're not. It's all good.
Do you hear the sad news? We can't go. Michael's health issue.
I'm sorry. Well, tell Mikey that I hope he gets better.
And the car
also,
sucks.
Amanda says you need to shave again.
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, I'm a half shave. Thank you for reminding me. That was a good reminder. Amanda, I like you very much.
Do you like any woman that gives you attention?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, I hope your voice feels better. I'll call into your show at 6 to 8. Okay.
I'm looking forward to it, Bob.
I'll talk to you soon.
You got it, Bobby. That was for Amanda. All right. Had to show off that body at Bobby Midnight. Get the people going.
J-O-B. Job.
All right. Last chance to get in here. We got a couple calls left. If you're on hold, I guarantee you'll get on the program. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not heard from this guy in, I don't know, week and a half. People have been asking me what happened to him. We'll find out right now.
He's pointing. Garrett Box point at you. Garrett Box point at you. Garrett Box. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Garrett Box point at you. I point.
Howdy.
Where have you been?
Been around. I've been busy. How are you, Jake?
I'm well. The Yankees eliminated the Boston Red Sox, who I despise with every fiber of my body.
I despise the Yankees with every fiber of my body, almost as much or maybe more than I despise the Dallas Cowboys.
I know. Isn't it crazy how you said that the Yankees are little brother now because they didn't re-sign Soto? And last I checked, the Mets, when's their playoff game start? Did they have the bye? Is that why they were in the wild card round?
Yeah, that's what happened, Jake. That they ended the season. I said all season long, you got to take Pete Alonso off first base. He can't handle first base. He's terrible at it. He can't field the position. And what happened Friday night?
They missed the playoffs. They missed the playoffs.
Yes, it is.
Pitch.
If he catches 2 ground balls right at him at first base on Friday, they make the playoffs. It's that simple. They smashed 2. I understand a million other things went wrong.
Bro, their rotation was horrific. Alonso had a great offensive season. He's not their problem.
I never said they shouldn't have him hit. I said he should be the DH. I've said that all season long. And then Friday night, they smashed 2 ground balls.
They never should have came down to Friday night. Since June 13th, they had the 3rd worst record in baseball.
I don't want to.
You know how bad the Reds are? The Reds are maybe one of the worst teams that's ever made the playoffs. And the Mets with the highest payroll of all time couldn't make the playoffs. I don't want to hear shit from you after all the shit talk. I like most Met fans. I have no issue with the Mets. But you in particular, I couldn't wait for you to call in so I could give it to you. Oh, you talk so much shit. I was looking forward to this.
All right. Yeah, do you want to cook me? I mean, what am I going to say? I want to defend this? This is disgusting. Go ahead, Jake.
I said my piece. The audience knows.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. I want to address first of all, classic Bobby Midnight call. That is vintage Bobby Midnight. That is summer of 2024 Bobby. I don't know what the hell was going on in that call. It was excellent.
And what does the guy shave like once every 3 weeks? He hasn't shaved since that last time he shaved, and he missed 3/4 of his face. It doesn't grow facial hair. Has he not shaved since then? His facial hair is a very, very, very confusing thing to kind of analyze because it goes in waves. Sometimes he shaves a lot, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know. It's getting a little patchy. I don't really. I can't let it grow because I get the gray patches, so I can't really let it go any longer than this. Otherwise, it looks weird. But a couple of things. This Buffalo thing, the Toronto Bills, where they say they're the only New York team. You're named after the city that you play in. Buffalo is like 400 miles from New York. It's not even close. I don't understand. Like most teams, or probably half of them, don't play in the city that they're named after. The Cowboys don't play in Dallas. The Dolphins don't play in Miami. The 49ers don't play anywhere in San Francisco. That's the market that they play in. That's why I would call them the Orchard Park Bills when they'd be like, "Oh, the New Jersey Jets." It's like, okay, don't play in Buffalo. Yeah. We're gonna play that game. You're the Orchard Park Bills, but the fact that their official account is wishing good luck to the Blue Jays and they're playing the Yankees in the next round here is insane. If a Bills fan ever tries to claim they are the only New York team, show them this. They lose every argument. I don't understand the argument. New York is a city. It's a market of like 20 million people. The Yankees and the Jets and the Giants play there. The Bills don't play anywhere near there. They play in a completely different market. The Commanders don't play in Washington, right? They play in Maryland. You know who does play in Washington State is the Seahawks, ironically, right? Like, do the Seahawks say that we're Washington's only team? It doesn't make any sense. You're named after the city that you play, except for the Cardinals, because the Cardinals had a whole – they were going to be the Phoenix Cardinals, but Scottsdale paid for the stadium, and Scottsdale was like, no. Our tax dollars paid for that stadium. The team's going to be named after us. And they were like, we can't name them the Scottsdale Cardinals. So they agreed on the Arizona Cardinals. That's why they're named after – but the other teams don't play – are named after their city, not their state. All right. I digress on that. Jake, I hate the Yankees. I can't watch the Yankees win. I really hate the Cowboys. If I got to watch the Yankees win this weekend and the Cowboys win, it's not even about the Jets losing anymore. I can't watch the Cowboys beat the Jets. I can't watch this. This needs to stop. The Jets, I don't care if we go 1-16 at this point. The season's already over. They got to win this week. I don't care. It's like when Texas sucks, just beat Oklahoma. I can't listen to this. I was last Friday. I was at a cookout with some neighbors, and they were talking about how bad the Cowboys. You got invited to the cookout? I did. Aaron Rodgers must be the Braves. Aaron Rodgers was not there. Yeah, it must be. They're going over their schedule like Al, and they, we got the Jets, and then they're like, we may get that one. I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. They may get that one. That's how we're doing Sunday? I say, well, I was looking at the schedule saying the same thing about the Dallas game, and they just laugh at me. They're like, we're not going to lose to you. And I thought that was an instant verbiage thing. They didn't say, we're so good, we're going to beat you. They said, we're not going to lose to you, which is to say, you're so bad, there's no way that we lose to you. Like, you can't beat anybody. That's how we're viewed now, right? Like, when did I guess I know when it got this bad, but like, it's a laughingstock thing now. Like, they look at, I remember years ago, Zach Wilson's first year, I was at a little fight in Houston, a little club fight in Houston, and they had the Texans schedule up. But it's right before the season starts. You know how you do like the W and the L, all your predictions? The Texans had that at the bar, and it had all L's except for the Jet game, and it had a W. And then they were going to lose the rest of their games. I don't like being a laughingstock anymore. Like, well, that's the problem. That they have not done anything to change it. They've started 0-4, and Aaron Glenn, after starting 0-3, said they're not the same old Jets. To the entire universe, outside of some Jet fans who wanted to try and believe that BS, you are the same old Jets. You're a bad football team. The perception of the Jets is that they're one of the worst franchises in sports. That has not changed when you start winless to enter the new season with a new regime. What is the path out of hell? Like, for the Nets, whether or not they can execute, there's a path out of hell. You draft well and you sign a free agent next year and you start to rebuild, right? There's one more year of hell, and then you hopefully get a top 5 pick. You get 2 high lottery picks. You sign a free agent like the Knicks did with Brunson, and after they drafted RJ and all those guys, and you start to build out of hell. Well, how do we get out of hell here, Jake? What is the path out of hell here? I think having a head coach that is a good head coach. I'm not saying Glenn can't turn it around. It's 4 games, but I've seen nothing that gives me anything that I could grab onto to feel like things are about to change here. I mean, people will talk about some of the positives they've done, but we've done this so many times. It's like, oh, if they only could just do this. If only they could just clean this. It's like they never clean it up because they're never a properly coached team. So if they do clean up some of this stuff, I'll start to feel like maybe we do have the right coach. But I haven't seen anything that tells me that. That's the only way it changes, man. Right? There's no quarterback that's coming in that's going to be the savior. And do you have the right head coach or not? And that's where it all starts.
I like Glenn, and I don't want to write his tombstone after 4 games. I like him. Like I like listening to him. I think he's a leader of
I do
men.
too.
It's just like this is not going well. Like the penalties, the turnovers, they can't like the execution of the simple stuff, the fumbling. I can't. This is basic stuff. Like it's really simple, basic stuff. At the highest level, they can't get it right. Like you got to look at the coaching, right? Like other teams, they lead the NFL in turnovers. How many penalties they have on Monday night? 13? 14? 13.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. That's simply on coaching. Like that's
don't tell that to Nick Shine. We had that argument yesterday or 2 days ago.
Who else could you blame for it? Right? It's obviously on coaching.
The players. He was like, it's more on the players than the coaching. And I said, but that's contradicting what we said the last couple of years with Saleh and that staff. Why? Like at some point, the coaching needs to be held accountable for having dumbassery continue. And some of the guys committing the penalties are guys that they brought in or chose to retain. So that's also on Glenn and Muji.
I said this about the Mets with Buck. Clearly, it wasn't Buck's fault they underachieved when they fired him 2 years ago. Was this not Saleh's fault? I mean, did we fire the wrong guy here? I'm asking a real question.
Who should have been fired?
Jake, I don't really have any answers. Like,
Gary, I think a couple of things could be true. I think we could say Robert Saleh wasn't a good head coach, and so far Aaron Glenn hasn't been either. Doesn't mean that Saleh all of a sudden is vindicated here. I mean, the one thing I could give Saleh credit for is he was an expert on his side of the ball. This defense sucks ass, and they have a lot of the same players. So Saleh wasn't a good head coach, but I promise you they wouldn't be winless if he was their head coach right now because the defense would get stops to be probably 2-2.
That's yeah, right. And 2-2 isn't anything to write home about, but the season still matters. Like this is it. Honestly, Jake, if the Jets lose to Dallas, I don't care about the season anymore. There's nothing like you're 0-5. The season's over. You lost to Dallas. There's nothing else on the schedule that wets my whistle. Like the season's over. Like I don't.
Well, I want to see progress. If this team finishes with one of the worst records in the league and they're picking in the top 3. You want this regime drafting a quarterback? I don't.
Mushi's got some explaining to do, man. Again, it's his first season, but his okay, the draft pick was good. So far, Membu looks good. It's top 10 pick. You really shouldn't miss on a top 10 pick.
He looks great, by the way. I'll give them a ton of credit for Membu. He's playing.
For sure.
Damian Woody said he's going to be an all-pro within a year. Like that's strong praise.
For sure. So the pick is good.
And Mason Taylor looks good. Their first 2 draft picks look. If we're going to be fair and call it the negatives, Muji's first 2 draft picks look very good, especially Membu at a premium position. The Phillips trade and the Briggs trade was solid. I think Engstrand has been a good hire so far by Glenn. Like there's a couple things, but it's not enough, man. We were promised more and we haven't seen it yet.
Well, at the end of the day, if you're 0-4 going on 0-5, if we lose, it's like what were they good? It wasn't that bad of a roster. It wasn't a roster that you had to completely gut year 1 and get rid of everything. It wasn't that kind of roster. It was an okay roster. Is wet my whistle is that a weird phrase, Amanda?
I don't think Amanda likes you using that term. I don't know.
All right.
I think it's an extraordinary phrase.
I think so too. I think so too. Shout out Amanda. Hope all is well. Hope everything's going well with it. Extraordinary day today. Just extraordinary. Truly extraordinary. This is truly extraordinary. I mean, it's extraordinary. That is extraordinary. Extraordinary. I know one of those extraordinaries was referencing the 115, 113 scorecards in that fight. That is 2 of them. 2 judges scored that fight, 7 rounds to 5. They gave 5 rounds to Canelo. That's extraordinary. And then you said they want to use Brees more in the passing game. He's had 5 catches the last 2 games, right?
I mean, does it ever feel like they're using him as like a actual like first read on a play where he's like lined up in the slot against a corner or a safety or a linebacker and they're throwing them?
Probably not. Yeah, I don't disagree with it, right? But you look at the stats at the end of the day, and like he's got 5 catches a game. I mean, how?
No, he's been productive. I don't know. I feel like there's untapped potential for him in this offense. But to be fair, like if the defense was just mediocre, they wouldn't be winless right now. Like that's where their biggest problems are. That and obviously the turnovers, specifically the turnovers on special teams, have cost them at least 1 win, if not 2.
The turnovers and then not being able to get a timely stop. Like they're literally 2 timely stops. And like the Pittsburgh game, that's half a stop. They kicked a 60-yard field goal at the gun. It's like
it's bad luck too.
Right.
Some of it, sure.
At 60, I thought there was a 2% chance that thing was going to go in. I can't even believe they attempted it. And then it splits the upright with 5 yards to spare. It's like, what the hell? Who does this? Like, split the uprights down the middle. Like, it couldn't be more straight. It's like, who kicks a field goal like that? Outside, thick air, in the rain, kind of wet. Who kicks a 60-yard field goal like that? That was ridiculous. And then if you get 1 stop, let's just step up 1 stop in the Tampa game. You come back and you win a miracle game and you feel better. But now you're 0-3. You lose the next week. You're 0-4. And like, guys, the Miami game, I know the final score was close. We were never really in that game. We were never a threat to win that game. Like, let's just be real. We got blasted out by Miami. That needs to play in your head. Like, Miami's one of the worst teams in football. They blasted you out on Monday night. All right. I think that's all I got. Better win. Just beat the Cowboys. Just beat the Cowboys.
What are you doing for the game? Are you watching with Cowboy fans?
Yeah.
Why do that to yourself?
Because I live in Cowboy country. I live in Fort Worth, Texas. There's nothing but Cowboy fans all over the place.
What about Allen?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a Bills fan, and
no, he was a Bills fan in week 2. This week he's a Cowboys fan. I figured you were watching with him.
Look, Alan's my guy. I love Alan. I can attest he is a Jets fan. But there is like something about him that gives him a little joy when the Jets lose. Like he's like, I can't wait to see how pissed off the Jet fans are on Monday. This is going to be great. I'm going to go home.
That's not a Jet fan.
He's upset. He wants them to win. He's rooting for them to win. He's wearing his Jet. That's my boy, Alan. I'm never going to speak badly of Alan.
Alert, Alan alert. KC Jet fans are dumbass jerks. Alert, Alan alert. Delusional dreams from Teddy fans. My Big Joe is a dog. Beast Breaker is fat and dumb as a rock. And Peter's a dick who blocked all my chats. We should have got all Josh Allen to start. This show needs me. Jake knows I'm right, and he's always wrong. Alert, Alan alert. KC Jet fans are dumbass jerks. Alert, Alan alert. You hate me because I'm always right.
I love Gary. Gary is the best.
I love you, bro. Thank you.
I love Gary because I can tease him about the Mets, just make fun of him throughout the year. It was a lot of fun. I am a Jet fan. I know, Jake, you don't believe it, but I am a Jet fan. And I am watching the game with 4 Cowboy fans this week, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Are you going to be joining in after Dak throws a touchdown?
I did bet the Cowboys this week. It wasn't that difficult. Yes, I did bet the Cowboys.
What's up with that hat, by the way, Alan? You like destroyed the rim on it. PBM is right.
I love my Hawks. I know it's a bad rim, but whatever. Can I make a couple of comments?
Sure.
So you made a comment that I just don't understand. If Brees runs for 150 on Sunday and they lose, let's say they lose 38-24, so they're 0-5, you don't trade him? If a team calls you right now and offers you a 3 right now, you don't trade him?
I'd have to consider it.
God! You
why are we not? Can I ask you a question? Why are we not keeping him? Why are we not trying
he does not want to stay here. He
doesn't. If you offer him enough money, he'll stay.
He doesn't want to stay here.
How do you know that? Hold on. You can't say that after you said Garrett Wilson doesn't want to stay here either, and he signed an extension. You can't. You have no idea.
Brees Hall wants to win.
He wants money. He's an athlete that's never been paid. He wants to be paid. Saquon wanted to stay with the Giants.
So let's say this. If the Bears offer him $1 million less and he's from Omaha, let's say he's 6-7 hours from his
hometown. You don't know what the Bears are going to offer him. You love these hypotheticals.
They will offer him a lot of money. He is
based
the
on
missing
what?
piece of that offense.
The Bears are trying to trade for him. Alan's right about that. The Bears, I've heard from Bears fans that they're looking to try to get him before the deadline.
If they are offered a third, I'm sure they would consider it. But with Braylon now out probably for the rest of the year, they're not going to do it.
Tomorrow. Absolutely. Why wait?
Because how do you know they don't want to bring him back?
Again, they don't want to bring him back. And
the Jets don't want to bring Brees Hall. Why would you not want to bring Brees Hall back? He's entering the
I
prime
don't
of
think
his
they want
career,
to
and
bring
he's
him back, and I don't think
back
he
to
wants
football.
to come back. I just don't. I don't.
Well,
You just see his mannerisms. I don't think he wants to come back. I don't.
You said that
I don't.
about Garrett. You said that about Garrett.
No, I said Garrett would come if you overpay him, which they did. Okay. But
Garrett Wilson is spectacular, bro. Come on,
Garrett
Wilson is
great.
fantastic.
Shut up,
That's a
Alan.
hell of a. I
Shut
don't like Garrett
up.
Wilson as a person.
Shut
That's
up.
a hell of a football player, bro.
Okay. Here's my second comment. Okay.
Okay, just move on. I think you made an asinine comment there. But
It's not an asinine, but whatever.
Garrett Wilson's been incredible this year. What are you talking about?
What do you want from
What are you talking about?
He got overpaid.
He's lived up to the contract. He's underpaid.
He got overpaid. That's my opinion. We can
Shut up,
disagree.
dude.
$32 million. He got overpaid. That's my opinion.
32 and a half, which places him 7th among wide
Great.
receivers. And
He
that
got
contract
overpaid.
in 2 years, he's going to be
I'm
out of the
glad.
top 10.
I don't think he finishes the contract here. That's
Of course
just my
not,
opinion
because
also.
it doesn't fit your narrative. You said he would
I
never
don't think he will
resign.
finish
He
his
does.
contract
Now
with
he's
the Jets.
overpaid, and he's not going to finish his
I
career
don't
with the
think
Jets.
he will finish his contract with the Jets.
Well, I'll tell you what, this call, you're not going to finish it either, because we can thank the immortal, the incomparable Spencer Green. Farewell, Alan.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Claims to be a Jet fan. Couldn't wait to start for 3 years. Garrett Wilson's never going to sign here. He's gone. Can't wait to see him with Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, all the bull, you know what, that we heard from them. Garrett Wilson signs. Now he's overpaid. Garrett Wilson's bowling out. He's on pace for over 1,300 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, having a career year so far. He's been unbelievable. And he's overpaid. He's not going to finish his contract here. Now he just assumes Brees Hall wants out too. Based on what? Nothing. He wants to be paid like every professional athlete. Saquon wanted to stay with the Giants despite how bad they were. Giants didn't pay him. The Jets paid Brees the most. He would take the money. That's how this works in professional sports.
100%. And look, I love Allen. You got to stop. Garrett Wilson's overpaid. He's not over. He's earned every penny of that contract and some. He's been amazing this year. Like, he's been incredible, especially with the level of quarterback he's played with. It's like, it's crazy. It's the only guy that Wilson can throw to. It's the only guy that Wilson can throw the ball to.
Papa Jet says, bring him back. This is a democracy. Well, Alan, if you call back, your bounty's been lifted. I don't know why Papa Jet did it, but he wants you back, Alan. So if you're still watching, which you probably are, call back and I'll put you right back on the show. Because if there's one thing you guys know about me is I'm a capel fish, to quote Bobby Midnight, and a bounty's a bounty. Reverse bounty. Papa Jet has done it.
Yeah, no, let's shout out Papa Jet. Bring him back. Shout out Papa Jet. It is democracy. Just because people say words you don't like doesn't mean we silence them, you know?
Unless it's you, then we definitely
Well,
won't.
look, Jake, I want you to get paid. You know, I want you to earn in a real way. It's a beautiful thing. So if they gotta send me off for the show so that you get paid, I want you to make $1 million a show, Jake. It's a beautiful thing when people earn big, you know? I want you to do that. So you got to silence me. I take no
Nate
offense.
says, we finally had good Jets debates, don't I? How is it a debate that Garrett Wilson is overpaid and he's not going to finish his contract with the Jets after did you hear Garrett Wilson literally yesterday, Alan? Seriously, I'm going to pull the clip because I was going to play this and I didn't have time to get it ready before the show. Garrett Wilson, I'll just read you the quotes. Garrett Wilson yesterday on what he'd say to those that wondered why he signed an extension with the Jets. I love it here, man. These people have bought into me since I was a college kid. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to win about. For me, it's about where you do it at. That's literally yesterday from a guy that Allen claims is not going to finish his time with the Jets after he signed and is under team control now for 6 more years.
Garrett Wilson's going to be here. And if you want to bring Brees Hall back, then just offer him the money. He'll come back. I don't know why
you're paying a quarterback a lot of money. They have a lot of cap space this offseason. If you want to keep Brees on a 2-year extension, you can.
And you're not going to either you're going to go with Fields again next year and you're going to be paying a quarterback only $20 million, or you're going to draft one and have one on a rookie deal. So you're not paying a quarterback a lot of money in the foreseeable future either. So why wouldn't you bring back Breece Hall? Like if you offer him the most money, he'll stay with you. That's how that works. It's running backs especially are guns for hire. If you pay them, they will stay. It's not difficult, especially with running backs. They don't have long careers. They need to get paid. If that's who's offering them the money, that's where they're going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why. Oh, we got to trade Breece. If I'm getting a second, I think that's different. A third is not nothing. I fully acknowledge that. But without Braylon Allen and this team's trying to win games, you're making your team so much weaker, man. Like I don't think just because you get a draft pick for Breece Hall, one, you then have to hit on that draft pick, which we have no idea if they're going to be able to do that. And then two, like, if you're trying to change the culture, win games, what message does it send to the locker room if you trade Breece, you continue to lose? Like, how are you getting guys to believe that things are changing if you make that kind of move?
Here's my point, though, about trading me. And look, if they offered me a second-round pick, I'm really gonna consider that. But here's my point: Mason Taylor is a good second-round pick, right? Joe Tippmann is a good second-round pick. You would say those are good second-round picks,
yes.
Right? Who's more valuable to the face of this team, Breece Hall or Tippmann or Taylor? Like, who's actually more valuable to this team?
Breece Hall, Tippmann, or Taylor?
It's Breece Hall, right?
Yes, but the career of Breece Hall at that level is less than those other guys.
Because of his position, he's going to have
Correct.
a short career. I mean, that's why you consider making the trade. But I'm just saying, as of impact, as of winning right now, Breece Hall outperforms a second-round pick in most cases. Like good second-round picks like Tippmann and Taylor. Breece Hall is still more valuable to winning than those guys are. If I see Philly Noodles in the chat saying Tippmann, Tippmann is good. Breece Hall is one of the best running backs in the league. Like it matters. There's a reason why teams want him.
He's a very good player. Ladies and gentlemen, you asked, and you shall receive the return of Allen.
Warning, warning, Allen alert. Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning, Allen alert. Hide the children.
I love when Spencer throws me out the door. It's pretty funny. Again, I think Garrett's overpaid. I have my right to the opinion. I do. And I think that
can you justify the opinion? Like,
I
think the movie's made out of cheese. That's my opinion.
Money. I just don't. I think Garrett Wilson's a very good receiver. I think he's between 11 and 15 in the league, and I don't think he's worth $32.5 million. That's my point.
So what's he worth? 31?
Is that fine? I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Okay,
again, I watched Breece Hall as well.
How much would you pay him?
I think he's an under $30 million guy.
Okay. All right. We disagree on the value of
I think that Breece Hall wants out. Is there another? That's my point as well. I think he wants to go.
You just come up with these things, though.
Would you agree with me that running backs are guns for hire? They have very short shelf lives, and they're just going to sign with whoever offers them the most money. Like, it really that
Breece
simple.
Hall has been so frustrated by his usage as a Jet that he wants out.
If the Jets offered him the most money, would he take it?
I don't think he will stay. I think if a team offers him $1 million less, which they could, what do you think the Jets are going to offer him? They're not going to offer him more than like $10-11 million.
I got to look at the market. I don't have a number.
He's not going to get more
10,
than that.
12, I guess. I don't know. I got to look at the market.
The team's going to offer him 11. He's going to leave.
What are your thoughts on the Eagles paying A.J. Brown $32 million to do nothing right now?
They paid him a couple of years ago. They did.
And guess what? Garrett's contract is going to age beautifully when the next guys get paid. Receivers are making over $40 million now. Did you see the Chase deal? Did you see the money that he got paid?
We can disagree on this. I don't think he's worth the money. You have your opinion. I have mine.
This is so far down on the list of issues with the Jets. It's not an issue. Garrett, they're the best player.
That's an issue with the Jets. I'm just making a comment. Here's the other point I was going to make.
But you said Garrett's going to ask for a trade, right? Does this sound like a guy that's asking out?
He will ask.
People wonder why you extended here. What would I say? No, yeah. What would you say to those people out there that you see it? You have these big games, and the losing is still coming. I mean, they made me question like, wow, he should have tried to go somewhere else. Why? Like, what would you say to those people who are wondering why you decided to extend here and stay here?
I mean, on that, I would say that's a good question, man. I would just say that it's never really been about them. In my case, right? You know, I would say that all of us in this room have had people, you know, that thought you should go about things a certain way, go do this, go chase that. But this is about me, right? And I got to go home at night and feel good about the decisions I make. And I love it here, man. These people have bought into me since I was a college kid, not knowing, you know, what my next step was as far as football, and fan base has dove into me. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to win at. It's not about just winning. It's about where, for me, it's about where you do it at. What role did you play in that? And I truly believe, because of you know, the things that guys that have been around here have gone through these last few years, and what we're battling to get out of, it'll make it that much more beautiful down the stretch. I don't ever lose sight of that and lose faith in what AG, Muji, the staff, and all those, you know, everyone here has, you know, what their plan is.
Face of the franchise answer there from Garrett Wilson. That's why he's a captain. That's why you pay him, and that's why he will be a Jet for years to come.
Okay, let me answer that one. Okay, Garrett won in high school. Garrett won at Ohio State. He's about to lose 10 games again for a fourth straight year. Give him another 2 years of losing 10 games a season, and he will change his tune. That's my opinion. 6 straight years of 10 straight losses, he will want out. Okay. So let me make another point on JJ.
You'll make no point. Your day is done again.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Now he's looking ahead to 2 years, automatically assuming, and look, I can't say he's wrong for thinking they're going to be awful again for 2 more years, but it's like, that's not how you think. That's not how you operate as a team. Garrett's not looking at it like, oh, I signed here, we're going to lose 10 plus games this year, next year, and the following year. Like, come on, man.
I just don't get that he's overpaid. It's like, that guy's been amazing. He's been an incredible receiver. We've never had a receiver play at this level before that I can think of ever in the whole 40 years I've been watching the Jets. Almost. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, if you don't want to pay that guy, who exactly do you want to pay? I don't understand the overpaid thing. Okay. If you think he's 5 or 10 or 7 best receiver in the league, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like, he's our guy. We could keep him. You pay him.
Georgie Allen, the GOAT.
Allen's just top earner. Allen surpassed me. He's become your top earner.
Now, where's Bobby to be all jealous? Remember, he was like, Beast Breaker's your cash cow. Remember that line? That was one of my favorites.
He was, but I think Allen's your top earner now.
Because Allen pretends to be a Jet fan and he's not.
I will attest that Allen is a Jet fan.
I'll tell you what, good idea here from Dylan. I'm going to send Allen a Garrett Wilson jersey, and I'll only let him call into the show if he wears it.
I like this. I like this idea.
Allen, asmajake at Gmail. Email me your size and address. I'll send you a Garrett Wilson jersey.
He's made you $150 today, and
I'm going to pay it forward.
20 minutes. Yeah.
Don't forget.
A lot of money.
YouTube's getting 30% of that. Good call, Gary. All right, let's home stretch here. Let's get to your last remaining calls. Philly Noodles is next. Hello, Philly. Didn't you call in already?
Yeah. I just wanted to, well, first off, with all this negative energy, I would like to channel in JJ wherever he's at. Is he listening? We need to hear from the negative king of all kings, where his negative mind is at right now with the Jets. And to the point of Allen, we need Allen. You need an Allen. You know what I mean? He's got to be a Jets fan. Nobody would call this Alton for this nonsense. But
no, he loves to troll a Jet chat. He loves it.
I think his take is egregious though in the end, because think about it. Okay, let's say we don't pay him. What team was going to pay him less to get him?
Exactly.
Nobody. He was going to get the money he was going to get. $30 million. What do you want? $28 million? What are we're cutting chops on $4 million? That's a joke. That's like almost a practice squad player amount of money. Like, that's not going to happen. You're going to pay the $4 million to keep the guy who's producing top 10 numbers. no matter what team he landed on. So you can't really that doesn't hold weight. That argument don't hold weight. Now his argument with the Breece Hall thing, that's a little bit different. I can kind of side with him, but yeah, the Garrett Wilson take is nonsense. But I'll let you go get to the next person.
Appreciate it, Philly. The trading Breece, for a third is reasonable. I think the Braylon Allen injury complicates it now. Because I don't think you want to tell your team you're giving up. We're not trying to win. And that assumes the Jets have no intention of bringing him back. I don't know if that's true. Have you heard what Aaron Glenn has said about Breece Hall? How he's spoken about him before? Like going back to the summer?
That's where we're going to open your game up this whole year. You know what I'm saying? Not just running the ball, but being able to do something like that. You dig what I'm saying? That's where your game going to open up, bro. Because it's a mismatch. Take you on anybody out there, any safety or linebacker. There we go.
That was after Fields threw a touchdown to him on a go ball. Would like to see more of that. Hey, a couple of membership shout outs. So we had craziness, so I didn't get to acknowledge Felicia's awesome gesture. She's in our raffle for 5 by gifting 5. She also sent it a super chat. Says, we suffer together. Jets, Jets, Jets. If there's one thing we know how to do in this community is suffer and commiserate all together. The legend Bobby Midnight gifted a membership. Hey now. And a 5 spot from Anthony Logerato. I don't know if I shouted Anthony out. Anthony, you are the man. Thank you very much for supporting the program. Hey now. Let's see. Spencer Green, I see your other super chat here. I agree, Gary. Jake, don't get greatness. Which one is greatness? I forget. Burkinator, did I shout out your 5? I don't know if I did. We had so many coming during that madness. You're in for 5. This is for you.
Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's also an
Nobody gives a shit.
Hold on. I'm having some glitches here, Rich.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
Love it. Love it. Let's see. Get back on track here. Do we miss anything? All right, this one is from Team Curry. He's in the route for 2, going back to the conversation about the Bills wishing good luck to the Blue Jays before they play the Yankees, and they want to be New York's team. Okay. Bills fans, SMD, Knicks in 6. I always push back and tell Orchard Park Bills the Jets originally played in Queens. They don't get the geography and what you do. You win for being an only New York team. Yeah, they're not a New York team. They're a Western New York's team. There's a big difference. They don't represent New York City and the surrounding areas. They don't. And they never will. Colin Wolford gifted 5 channel memberships. Colin, you're the man. This is for you.
Show me the money. Show me the money!
Money. All right, this is a long show. It's the only one we're doing on the day. So I have no problem being on a little longer. Listen to me tonight, filling in for Stephen A on radio. I'm on from 6 to 8 tonight, talking plenty about Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays, previewing the NFL slate on Sunday. Can't wait. Web Film says, Jake, how was the game? You watched a special game. Well, if you could tell by my voice, it was epic. That was all night. Got no voice. I'll be drinking some tea after this. All right. The good thing is I don't really need a voice when this guy calls in. He's got points to make. Which, by the way, before we get to this guy's call, let's recap Neil's call, because I have here a summary from Boomtown on what went down before we bring on, they're calling him in the chat, Neil Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, Neil recap, courtesy of Boomtown. Neil call recap. Point 1, Neil appears to dislike Boston sports teams and their fans. Point 2, Neil no longer will be making points. He'll be making comments. Comment 3, Jets need to go up-tempo early. Comment 4, tush pushes will make the Jets better. Comment 5, does not want to see Clemens or Adams on the field this week. Comment 6, Cowboys fans in New Orleans are annoying. Comment 7, still will not commit to humping a jersey, dooming the Jets season forever. Comment 8, Neil has a torch that will torch Prescott's ass. Neil used 8 of his 13, quote, comments. On that note, we say hello to a man they call Neil Jr. in the chat. Birkinator 47. What's up, my friend?
I will.
No. Birkinator, we need you in your home setup, man. Your internet connection is worse than the Jet defense. Man, Dylan says, I wish the Jets could make us lose our voice. Unfortunately, Dylan, they have. Just never positive. He's just screaming. When Braylon Allen fumbled, you guys, I was watching the game, and people were like, how come you never stream yourself watching the game? If you saw what I was throwing and screaming and punching after that, oh my God. Bronx Farrell says, Yankees and Knicks keep me out of a mental institution. Hey, man, the fact that the Yankees and the Knicks both got to eliminate Boston teams, you have no idea how much that means. God, I can't stand Boston fans. I dealt with them all the time. And anyone around my age, all they have experienced is Boston beating New York teams and winning. All their teams have won multiple titles, or at least one. All of them. Finally, got to get their ass back. Now, the Knicks got to win it all this year. Yankees got to win a championship right now, but never bad to beat Boston, ever. Black Gypsy, I've lost my voice plenty of times, yelling, what the F, many times. Oh, yeah. I was trying to get Birkinator a chance to call back in with his internet. I don't think that's happening. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to count the remaining raffle entries, and then we're going to spin the wheel of champions and give someone this. A Wayne Corbett signed helmet. So as this video is playing, if you want a chance to win said helmet, then you have till the end of this video to enter. Hit it.
Down in Tampa where the sun beats down, Jake Asman's a king wearing his birthday crown. Fireman Ed's got the chanting his alarms, and Earl Christie's here where the legends are sung. We may not win, but we'll make it right. Green and white storm in the floor tonight. As maniacs unite, let's paint this town from the bay to the sky. We'll never back down. Rick and Dave steal the show. Hearts on fire, 4%ers bring the heat, lifting us higher. Tampa's turning green tonight as maniacs unite. Tailgates roar, the beer flows cold. Stories of battles both new and old. The Jets might stumble, but we'll stand tall. In this wild green army, we answer the call. The stadium's loud, the flags take flight. We're here to party, not just for the fight. As maniacs unite, let's paint this town from the bay to the sky. We'll never back down. Rick and Dave steal the show. Hearts on fire, 4%ers bring the heat, lifting us higher. Tampa's turning green tonight as maniacs unite. As maniacs unite, let's paint this town from the bay to the sky. We'll never back down. Rick and Dave steal the show. Hearts on fire, 4%ers bring the heat, lifting us higher. Tampa's turning green tonight as maniacs unite.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Gator again for editing that masterpiece and everyone who took pictures during our Tampa Asmaniac takeover weekend that contributed to that video there. It is almost time for the Asmaniac raffle, but first, a couple people entered during the video playing Robin Boy Wonders and Roster Dread. And this comment legitimately made me laugh when I saw it. New Q wrote in, tell Joe B that's Bad Bunny singing.
What is this? Who is this guy? Bad freaking Bunny. What is that?
Unreal. All right. Time to spin the wheel of champions. Someone's winning this. Signed helmet by Jets legend Wayne Corbett.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Bunch of you entered, but only one can win. The good news is if you don't win, all your entries go towards the weekly raffle, which has 3 awesome prizes, including a signed Joe Namath helmet on Tuesday. Hey, shout out to Festa. He's in the chat. Someone give Festa a membership next show. Festa's the president of the Tampa Jets fan club. He and his team made our weekend epic. Thank you to Festa. And Festa, surprise, if you see a signed Nick Mangold jersey that arrived at your home today, I sent that to you as a small token of appreciation. So thank you. That and you're getting some merch too, but the Mangold jersey, let's be real, is a little cooler. All right, here we go. Someone's going to win. We spin the wheel and determine the winner right now. Burkinator. His internet might be crap, but a man they're calling Neil Jr. just won his first Asmaniac raffle prize. Let's go. Hit the Jet chant for Burkinator. Congrats, Burkinator. Show me your address, and I'll get this sent out to you in 20 minutes. All right, that's how good I am. Shout out to you, Burkinator. Love all you. Thank you for watching. I am not doing a second stream today, but I will be doing a Saturday show tomorrow. Jeff Parles will join us at 11:15. Listen to me in for Stephen A. today. I'm doing his radio show from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Carl Ravitch, who called last night's Yankees-Red Sox game, is among my scheduled guests. So we'll check in with him and talk Yankees, Red Sox, MLB playoffs, look ahead to the NFL weekend, and a whole lot more. Thanks to Nick Faria for joining us at the top of the show. Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat, a membership, all that. This show does not happen without the audience support. And I will end the show with 2 videos that I think need to be played. 1, can the Jets do this on Sunday?
Do they ever force a damn turnover?
And 2, maybe not the best analogy, but an analogy that makes sense on the Jets' issues with recovering a fumble.
We literally can't even fall on a fumble. I mean, my wife accidentally falls on my dick 1 time a week, and we can't fall on a fumble?
Holy shit already. Will you stop it with the bad language?
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I ran out of oregano. I was like, ow. You know how that fun is. It never ends. Yeah. It's always one thing after another. You know how that works. Yeah. All right, what do we got here for grand total?
28.45.
28.45. I'll take care of you. Don't worry. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
He just told us it's pin.
Service with a smile. That is the sexiest thing you're ever going to see.
And Jet fans are clueless. I mean, they're dopes. They don't know anything. This is a really good hire. Gase is a great coach. Okay, Adam Gase is Kyle Shanahan before Kyle Shanahan. Gase is a great coach.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.